go...
Write in the comments whether you can actually see us or if it's just an error on my end.
Oh, we're live here, apparently.
It might just be an error on my end.
What, like on a private...
Oh, wait, hang on, let's start. Right, everyone, we're restarting.
Oh, there we are.
We're restarting.
I got it.
3, 2, 1.
It literally started just as you reset it.
Right, 3, 2, 1, introduction.
Meow?
Alright, hello YouTubers and random people of the internet, it's me, Ozzy, joined with these two, and I do apologise, this is the first time we've ever done a scheduled stream, so maybe it didn't go smoothly as I would have liked, but introduce yourselves, you two.
I am Lewis, also known as Monotrix or Monomations of MonoSupreme.
Hi, and I'm Mana. Just Mana. Only Mana.
There is only one man
Just one.
in existence. So, today we're going to be doing a podcast, a very special podcast, the three of us finally in the same room together to actually do something like this. So if you're watching, guys, just fire away any comments in the chat and we'll answer anything. But we've got some already pre-made questions and some questions from a very loyal viewer, which...
I've got them down.
Yeah, do you want to read the first one out?
Who are they from, by the way?
Well, I was just about to say that. From our dear friend Richard Coleman. We've got them 3 questions. So we're going to be doing scattering these. We're not going to answer them all at once. So his first question was, in the do I have the right moment in Genesis of the Daleks, if you were in the Doctor's position, what would you have done?
God, that's a heavy-handed question.
So that's a heavy first question.
I wouldn't have done what Stephen Moffat did with Which Is Familiar, let's just say that.
What did he do?
Well, he made an entire story about the question, but never...
Answered it.
Well, he wasn't really supposed to answer it, I guess. It's just that he didn't really explore it very well. But if I were in the Doctor's position, yeah, I'd blow him up. I wouldn't really question myself, to be honest. If there were no consequences.
But cause and effect is a consequence.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong answer to that one. It's tricky. I probably wouldn't, because it wouldn't take us to where we are now. You wouldn't be you without the effects of history that has brought you to that place.
I mean, there's loads of different paradoxical theories. I could go into depth on them. I like reading paradoxes and all of that. Yeah, on one hand, you can do something and it may not mould you into the person you are, or it may make a divergent timeline according to the many worlds theory. Any number of things could happen. In my mind, it's just a sort of dilemma of, do you want these death machines out of the way? My answer is probably yes.
That would be quite a nice thing, I guess.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I think their deaths would counteract deaths of far more.
I mean, it is, like, embedded in the canon that the Daleks have killed billions and billions of people.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're just under the pretense that each Dalek has killed at least 2 people,
surely that's enough.
then surely that's enough to wipe out a bunch of Daleks.
Somebody asks, do you find the Daleks having a parliament nonsense?
Yes. There's not really any question about that, really.
I mean, yeah, they're like, what am I supposed to, like, a hive mind or something?
Yeah, that was introduced very late into the mythos, how they have a hive mind. So what's the point of them having a parliament?
Yeah, if you don't need a parliament if you're all operating off of a sort of similar neural network. It's like...
That's in the same episode, wasn't it? It was the parliament and the pathweb.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was.
So what's the point of having Daleks just chatting with each other if they're going to come to the same conclusion?
I mean, yeah, I know they have like the thing of some Daleks are separated from there, but you don't even want those that are separated from the network to be part of your sort of group, so...
The thing is, I think in the classic series, it was the Supreme Council, like the Emperor and the Supremes, in like a dark meeting who just organised plans for domination and stuff.
Yeah.
But having those thousands and thousands of Daleks in that parliament, like, what goes on in that room? I want to actually see what happens in the parliament of the Daleks, see if it actually works.
Much like what happens in our parliament, which is absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Also, Dalek Collecting says, I enjoyed your product Enterprise Dalek review.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that, because when I uploaded it at first, it barely got any views, but then somehow the bliss of YouTube's algorithm finally recommended it. So I'm glad you saw it. And look out for more retro reviews. There'll be more on the way.
So, the first topic we'll be talking about today, just from a list of things that we wrote down, is how are we today and what we've been going on while we're all together.
I'll let Mana talk about what we've been doing today.
Because this is like, other than one time we went for coffee, this is the first time we've been together in like 3 years.
Yeah. Well, today we've been shooting a little sketch that I wrote, which will be coming out as soon as it's edited.
Which is
As with
never.
everything else.
Yeah.
We are never going to edit it.
This is the first production where we're splitting the editing. Because I'm doing the
Yes.
the visual effects,
Yes.
and you're doing like the basic edit.
And I
And the
showed up
music,
today.
so. And Luce showed up. Yeah, but I mean, you always need somebody to hold the script, manage the cameras when we're not on screen. So I mean,
Uplift the vibe of the set.
yeah, I know.
Totally my job.
I keep getting distracted by the blue catchlight on Lewis's face. Very dynamic.
Well, I mean, you've got blue shirt, you've got blue shirt, I've got blue light.
So it's a very blue podcast.
Yes, we've
Blue
got
dabba dee dabba die.
matching things that was not planned.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah,
Not a
you can
sponsor
tell it's
for the
not
review
planned,
yet.
because if it was planned, I would have bought a blue shirt.
We should do that for next time. I'll pick a colour. I'll have the exact same
Black.
outfit on. No, black's boring though.
Well,
Everyone
black's all I own other than this white and purple, which is very fashionable.
should wear white. That'd be pretty cool. Then we look like Ghost.
I mean, I already look like a ghost. If it weren't for these lights, you would not see me.
It blends into the walls. Okay, so
Yeah, so the sketch we can't tell you what it's about yet. You'll just have to find out when it comes out. But I'm sure you'll like it. I hope you'll like it. And it's my first proper sketch contribution to this channel, so yes.
I enjoyed being told what to do instead of organising things.
I enjoyed feeling like I actually contributed because I was sort of going, camera 1, operational. Camera 2, operational. Microphone, operational. No, I brought a boom mic that didn't work as intended.
Yeah, the boom.
You'll
You'll
see
see that
it,
in behind the
hopefully,
scenes. Yeah.
because it's right funny.
Someone asks, oh, I think it's to do with the first question about the thing. If Davros was there, he would say, no, he would say, Daleks holding a trial, how low you're sunk without me, pathetic.
Yeah, that's true. Davros just wants to be above all the other Daleks. Could you imagine if Davros like actually rescued like the colored scientists though, and then they had like a hive mind of?
Then he
Like,
wouldn't be
individuals.
alone. That's yeah.
There's a lot of different what if scenarios with like Davros and the Daleks, which would be quite cool to explore.
I mean, I think Doctor Who is just what ifs.
Oh yeah,
to the
definitely.
extreme.
You could change any little thing about any episode of Doctor Who, and it'd.
What if the
Have a
Doctor
ripple
never
effect.
went to that parallel world in?
Oh, I love the parallel world thing. I really hope they do another parallel world story. I thought it was such a good premise because it's like such a budget episode kind of thing because you don't have to make new sets and stuff because you're on another Earth. But Graham Harper is such a goddamn genius that it genuinely felt like another world.
Yeah.
So, I love Graham Harper. Man. So cool.
Richard Coleman, he says,
Again.
yay.
Oh, is he here?
Hello.
Is he
Yeah,
he's
he's still
here.
awake for some reason. You
Go
said
to
you
bed,
were-
Richard. Go to bed.
Well, first off, he says, yay, hello, Lewis. And then he says, too much sharing, Aussie.
Too much sharing.
I don't know what that's about.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're all
I
giving each
get
other.
hello, you guys don't. I'm the favourite here.
Lewis, question.
Yeah, I was about to say the next question from
I'm
Richard.
sorry I interrupted you there.
Just get interrupted.
We always
all the
talk
time.
over each other, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's because we're both ginger, so we can't have two gingers talking at once. He's got to have one ginger. Anyway, next question, also from Richard, because he asked us 3 questions, is if we were given a brief to write a historical Doctor Who episode, pick one event or historical figure which we think would be an interesting episode and why.
Right. Let's set some ground rules for this. What actually classed as a historical? Like what before? Because if I were to do something in the 2000s, would that count? Or
Yeah,
is
I'd
it
say
pre, whatever. What would you say, man?
Something... Ooh, I don't know. I was about to say something that's not in living memory, but like...
a lot of things aren't in living memory, like, obviously.
But like, there's like been stories focused on like World War II and stuff, but that
Yeah.
for some people that is sort of living memory.
Let's
you-
say, like, before 1900s.
Before 1900? That's interesting.
Well, just 'cause, I mean, I feel like
What
World
about
War
like
One and
Father's Day though? That's set in the 80s. Does that count as a historical?
Yeah, it's a bit of a.
I feel like you get a lot of like World War and World War One and World War Two things, so I don't think it makes as much of an interesting concept, which is why I said 1900s, but obviously there's a lot of history that's happened during that time that I'm just sort of skipping over.
Well, for me, I do have a fascination with World War Two anyway, so I would like to do something else in World War Two. Obviously with Victory, they did the Ironside thing, but they just didn't do enough, so I would love to see a proper Dalek story set in World War Two. Yeah, but if we were talking before, like the 1900s...
I mean, it's your choice. I'll literally just set that because
No, but
mine's definitely way before that, so it's easy.
Egyptian stuff, but I mean, I guess we did that in Pyramids of Mars, but I mean...
I love Egyptian
That's
and
not
like
really,
Greek mythology and stuff.
That's not a recent story. Like you could get away with
you could do that now.
Exploring that sort of.
Yeah, some Egyptian, because there's a lot of good iconography, a lot of imagery, a lot of cool mythology.
Yeah, you could do even stuff like when they were going around exploring pyramids and Egyptian tombs and stuff. There was a lot of stuff. I mean,
that'd be cool.
They would probably do something about cursed stories, like back in the day it was cursed Tutankhamun's tomb. But I'm sure there's like plenty of things you could do with an Egyptian mythological story in that sort of way. Like you could, I mean, even if you're not going mythological and you're going strictly factual, there's probably plenty interesting stories you can make out of something like that.
Like, do you need an alien in it, or can you just do a pure story?
That's probably the biggest sort of point of contention that people are always sort of arguing about.
Because I think with Rosa, like, I would rather have just had the story just set in Alabama. I didn't really like the character. Yeah, in Alabama.
I would love the story specifically in Alabama.
It is Alabama, isn't it?
You two have been making fun of my posh accent today, and then you come out with that.
Yeah, but the town, I'm not going to say which town we live in, but there's plenty of posh people around, so...
Yeah.
We pick it up.
There's also plenty of just scum.
Wow. Near where you live, yeah.
There's a couple of things.
So for, like, historical, there are plenty of people you could focus on, so I think that I might focus on this sort of, I don't remember if he's Italian or not, but this crime boss, this transgender crime boss, Tex Gill, I think is called.
It's pretty interesting. When was that set? What time period?
I don't know, I think it was either the 18 or 1900s. But, you know, so I think they were going to make a film based on this transgender man, and Scarlett Johansson was gonna play
Johansson?
Yeah.
Johansson?
No, it's Johansson. That's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
I pronounce it wrong because I'm a plebeian.
Yeah. They were gonna make a film with her, cast as Tex Gill, this transgender crime boss. And people got angry that it was a cis woman playing a transgender man, so it didn't go ahead, that production. But I think if Doctor Who were to explore that kind of character, someone who I think some people might idolize the sort of power he had, but at the same time he was also quite a horrible guy. As you might have to be if you're a crime boss.
Yeah.
I think he had he ran a brothel or something like that.
Did those answer the
question?
Okay, go on.
I just sort of invaded yours. I was like, yeah, Egyptian would be great. No, I like Egyptian mythology. I like Greek mythology. I did a lot of reading of Greek mythology, aka Percy Jackson, as a kid. They were my favourite books. But no, I don't know, obviously I've not watched Classic Who, I'm the new Who fan. I don't know if they've done one already, but I've been watching a lot of Fate, so a time period I'm really interested in, and always have been sort of interested in, is like the story of Arthur Pendragon, or King Arthur as everyone knows him.
Yeah.
Obviously,
whoa. We should do like a thing whenever we mention something, do a theme tune.
So yeah, obviously Sonic did a sort of Arthur Pendragon story with Arthur being evil.
And we were talking earlier how much we like the art style of that kind of period.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool.
But I
as well.
love medieval things, and again, there's probably a mythological aspect of that. You've got Merlin. Arthur Pendragon is notoriously in myths, supposedly, well, some myths anyway, supposed to be born of like with dragon's blood or something. I think it was.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is why they could pull the sword from a stone because they were specials. And yeah, there's even many depictions of Merlin where Merlin in one depiction is fully human, but in another one he is part human, part succubus.
Is that an alien?
It's a demon sort of thing, which basically siphons off the memories of humans. So,
among other things.
yeah, but that's not what we're going to talk about. This is a family-friendly stream.
Yes. Yes.
Supposedly.
Fuck, there you go. So,
This is a fucking family-friendly stream here, right? You can't be saying things like fuck and that succubuses are like fucking all the time.
cool. So, YouTube chat.
I'm big into myth. Yeah.
What is your favourite Doctor Who figure, Oscar?
My favorite, right? That is a killer question. If you're going to talk about like in terms of accuracy and just how it looks, I'd probably say something like the Brigadier from the Course of Axos. That's a phenomenal figure. But if we're going to talk nostalgic,
Looks around at all of the figures. Mainly Daleks.
For reference, he hasn't actually got all his action figures out anymore.
oh yeah, they're in the attic.
Yeah,
It's just Daleks mostly.
I was sort of packed next to them in the attic for quite a while, so
yeah, in the sketch.
no, in real life.
I hope you've
Oh, yeah,
had a
real
wash
life, sorry.
since then.
I had a wash and a haircut. I'll have you know.
I can't really answer that.
One, but
I'm sorry, but I can't really answer. It changes daily. Like I'm kind of drawn to the Series 6 Cyberman because it's so rare. But I don't know. Can't give you all the black and white sets from 2009. They are pretty killer, and I'd love to have some more black and white sets. Character, please.
Okay, a question we could probably answer. What monster terrified all three of you when you started watching the show?
The Imperial Daleks absolutely terrified me. You know when they're flying up the stairs?
Yeah.
In Remembrance, that was the bit which kind of just messed me up as a kid.
Wow.
I couldn't get to sleep. So.
Well, for me, it depends on what age, of course, because I think from basically the first series up to Series 7, I think at the latest, I was pretty much scared of most of the sort of monsters. Well, except for the Daleks and Cybermen, really. I was sort of desensitized to them because of how much, sort of merchandise and exposure they sort of had. But, the Empty Childs, Slitheen, the Clockwork Droids, the Werewolf.
Oh, the Clockwork Droids as well, I think they're probably...
Yeah.
Especially the bit under the bed, where... That still makes me jump. Every time I watch that thing, when the Clockwork Droid just goes like that towards David Tennant under the bed, that is scary stuff.
The Weeping Angels, what was in Series 4 that was scary? Oh, the Vashnarada. That fucking freaked me out with the dark for like years afterwards.
It was quite scary.
Yeah, the Silence, Prisoner Zero, whatever that voice was in the Pandorica Opens.
Silence.
That was freaking creepy.
We never found out what that was.
No.
That was really weird. You remember that when the TARDIS screen cracked and then there was like that weird voice, like silence.
I thought that was just like meant to be what's it called?
I thought it was Davros.
I thought it was the Kavarian chapter. What's it called?
I think that was what it was.
Kavarian.
Yeah, I thought it was the Kavarian chapter, sort of like a sort of intercepted transmission
I'm
sort
pretty
of
sure
thing.
that's what it was. That's what it's intended to be. But
maybe if they like did like a re-release on a Blu-ray, they could actually overdub it with a silence voice or something.
Yeah.
Because that would probably make a lot more sense.
that would be cool.
Because obviously when they were recording it, they didn't know what were going to happen in Series 6,
No.
so they wouldn't have had a voice prepared. Speaking of that though, people did speculate about whether you saw a reflection of a silence in the TARDIS in Series 5.
Oh,
did you
yeah.
ever see that?
Yeah. It's
I
like
don't know whether it was solid enough though. I might have just been a crew member or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably just a crew member.
Still,
Oh shit, I was in for a costume and didn't realise until afterwards. We just sort of went with it.
yeah, some guy just turned up in a silence outfit and said, "We're going to make
at the
some."
door.
Ah,
Why is the cat
I'm gonna
coming?
push the door.
shoot! I'll let her in. Come on.
There are now 4 people as part of
Come
the
on.
podcast.
No, she's not coming in.
She's not coming in.
There are now 3 people as part of this podcast.
Oh, I have multiple personalities, so there's 8.
Oh, I've got about 8 personalities as well.
There you go.
Have you answered yours fully?
Yeah, the flesh. People don't talk about how
Ooh.
scary the flesh was.
Oh, that was creepy. That was so with the glossy face.
Yes.
And especially her, the actress who played Jennifer.
Oh yeah,
She was terrifying.
When her neck popped out of the toilet door and just like...
That shit me up.
Yeah, I was going to say before you guys answered this question, I was going to say I wasn't really scared of any of the monsters.
I didn't get reminded about how scary
Well,
it was.
because I was 11 when I started watching, so it was like, okay, I was a scared kid, but I wasn't really scared of any of these monsters. But the 2 that really messed me up were the werewolf.
Oh yeah.
I literally, that night, I watched it about 8 o'clock. I sort of sat on the top of the stairs until my parents went upstairs because I was scared. And the flesh, they weren't so much scary, but it was just creepy. And I was like, ooh.
I think the way that episode's just made as well, like so just grey and like,
Episodes.
Yeah. Cool. Right. What's next? Is it one of our
It is
list
one
of
of ours.
questions?
So, we'll go with one of my ones.
What are one of your ones?
Let's go with the Mike story.
The mic, sorry.
If
You
you're
just want to check if the stream's still healthy, like just get it up live and
Loading,
see whether
yeah.
it's lagging or anything.
You started this time, I think.
Have I?
Yeah,
What was
because
I
I'm not wearing my thing. The Mike story from last time I came over.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got a prop here.
No!
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But,
Oh, God.
okay, we were doing a read-through of the sketch,
That
which
we
we filmed today, and there's a part where I get angry at Marlin's character, and I go, fuck you! But neither of these 2 knew I was going to do this, so I went, fuck you, and smashed the microphone, and then it ended up hitting Lewis's head.
Yeah, so I was sort of sat on the bed here, reading the script. So I was looking down like this. I wasn't looking at what he was doing. Marna wasn't here because
At the other side of
on
the
the
screen, yeah.
computer.
Yeah, we were doing Zoom.
So they were doing their lines, I was doing stage directions and stuff. Looking down, getting ready for the next one, and then suddenly, ow,
Just got smacked
something
by
hit the
the-
top of my head.
I mean, microphone.
And then they just burst out laughing. They didn't even ask if I was okay.
I
What?
did.
I was shocked. I was really
You were
freaking shocked.
laughing. That was not shock.
I was laughing afterwards, after you 2 were laughing, but...
Well, move your head, Marlon. Look how Sonic looks. It looks like he's glowing.
Yeah, I know. So,
Well,
why
no,
did
this
I
way.
move my head? Yeah, move your head to the
Ah.
right.
Look. See, if he was yellow, imagine if the light was yellow and the Sonic was yellow. It'd be
Yeah, it looked like
proper
a-
Super Sonic.
That's what
Sick.
saying Sonic. That was,
A lot of people say that.
that's
Super
Dragon
Saiyan
Ball.
Sonic. Right, okay.
I think I saw someone say Daleks in the Wild West or Daleks in medieval times.
We kind of had the Daleks medieval thing with Resolution. I mean, at the beginning,
Oh
where
yeah.
they like destroy the Daleks somehow. So I think what was the other thing you said? In the Wild West.
Wild
Yeah.
West.
I think that'd be interesting.
Personally, I think obviously there's still quite a bit you could do with it. Daleks in medieval times would seem a bit similar to the Maya to me,
Yeah, yeah.
and
yeah.
Daleks in Wild West would seem a bit similar to
Gunslinger thing.
Gunslinger.
Oh yeah, because that was like a machine of mass destruction as well. So I
Mm.
guess we kind of already had that premise.
But yeah, so there's still things you can do with it, but it just seems a bit too similar to me.
Thoughts on the BBC series Merlin featuring Colin Morgan?
I watched it at the time, but I can't remember it, so I'll pass it over to you two.
I also watched like 4 episodes at the time, maybe more, but I don't remember any of it.
I actually kept up with it consistently, like pretty much every year, except for I think I got lost a bit on the 4th and 5th series, and I had a friend at the time who was mad about it, and I don't know, something about their sort of obsession with Merlin kind of put me off.
Yeah, it was very hyped as that show. I remember when it
There
came
was
out.
also another show similar to Merlin. It was like a medieval thing, and it was doing the same sort of comedy, historical thing. And I can't, for the life of me, remember what it was
time
called.
period? Well, I mean, when did it come out?
Was it Robin Hood?
I don't think it was Robin Hood. No, I don't even remember what it was about, but I remember it just like existing.
Wolf Blood.
Because I know it was this person collecting like magical items or something for some sort of potion.
Amelia? Or
Well,
CBBC?
It was CBBC, and they were collecting it for some sort of potion. which was supposed to do something, and I don't remember
It's
it.
ringing bells. Wizards vs Aliens. I don't remember that. Rusty Davis wrote that.
Someone actually asks, have you watched Wizards vs Aliens?
I think I watched the first couple of episodes and I kind of checked out because it kind of came out later, didn't it? It kind of came out when we were probably like 13 or 14.
Yeah,
And it
after
wasn't
the
really that
after the
appealing.
Sarah Jane Adventures
Yeah.
ended, there was no reason for me to watch CBC.
No, I didn't stick on CBC after Sarah Jane Adventures.
Yeah,
Did you watch Wizards vs Aliens?
No.
No.
I know nothing about it.
No.
I sort of stopped watching CBBC around the time that I started watching Doctor Who.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not like it was coincidental. It wasn't. I watched Doctor Who, which was like I don't want to watch CBBC anymore. It's just like
You kind of just phase out.
everything that I watched on it, Horrible Histories was ending, and there wasn't really anything interesting on.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch Sarah Jane Adventures that much. I watched like a few episodes near the end of it.
Yeah, I kind of went off it a little bit at the end. I mean, Sarah Jane Adventures. The end of Series 4. And obviously Series 5 never got finished because obviously she passed away.
Yeah, so I remember
During the
Sky,
recording.
and then I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch more of this. Oh no, she's dead now.
But then the Sky thing, I never cared for the Sky arc because I liked Luke, but I didn't care about.
You've already
It's
got
new
Luke.
kids.
You don't need
Oh,
Sky.
yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't interest me at all.
I mean,
So-
I think it probably would have been. She probably would have been developed further.
Yeah,
But they
obviously
just
it didn't happen.
Oh
So
well, we'll never know.
we'll never, unless they release a big finish. Kind of, obviously.
I kind of doubt they'll do that.
No, not enough demand, I don't think.
No, I just think there's not a lot of ways you could do that sensitively.
No, I guess not. No,
I mean,
not.
they could just do what they do with Tarkov.
Oh, Grand Moff Tarkin, just CGI.
Tarkin, yeah.
Yeah,
What's
just
Tarkov?
CGI her in. There you
Oh,
go.
Tarkov's a game. That's what I'm thinking of.
Questions, because we haven't got any here.
That's fine. So we'll go
Richard.
to Richard's last question.
Last question.
If us three were the Paternoster gang, who would be who and why?
Strax.
Right. I said this. She said this.
Jenny and Vestra.
Yeah, I thought of Astra too for me.
Yeah. I'm the sexy one who can get away with wearing tight.
I just got
leotard.
typecast as Strax 3 times.
I'm the one who can kiss Matt Smith involuntarily.
I'm the one who can suggest explosions and comic relief.
And I'm a lesbian,
A lesbian lizard.
a lesbian lizard from the dawn of time. That's
There you go. I hope that answered your question, Richard.
So, trigger chaotic,
Hmm.
lawful something,
lawful chaotic.
maybe chaotic good, and lawful good. For all you D&D nerds out there.
D&D.
Yeah, I don't know D&D. I just
do.
I just know the grid of lawful good, chaotic good, neutral evil, all that stuff. Everyone uses it.
Shout out to people who watch Dimension 20. Yeah, so that answers your question. We got anything else on there? Or?
Yeah, someone just asked. Tech Tier asks, have you watched much of the classic series? If so, are there any favourites?
I mean, I think Lewis probably off it. You've watched
Yeah,
You watched Remembrance.
Yeah, I watched Remembrance with you, and then it was Resurrection. I watched
Yeah,
you, and
yeah.
I was like really tired that night.
And you fell asleep. But I mean, Resurrection for new time viewers, I guess, is probably not the best one to start off.
No, but it's not that it was a bad episode. It
No,
was a good
no.
episode, and I liked it. It's just I was tired at the time.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
It
fair enough.
depends if you like death,
I mean,
Oh, I
Resurrection's
love death. I keep asking for death, but God
Because-
doesn't answer.
because Resurrection of the Daleks literally has a higher body count than the Terminator.
What, Terminator Genesis with Matt Smith?
It
No.
was in it for 5 minutes.
It was a good 5 minutes.
Good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's literally the only 2 I've watched, I think.
What, Remembrance and Resurrection?
Mm.
Is that back when Netflix only had like
Yeah, I think so. That
4
was when they had some classics.
serials and they were all Dalek ones?
Mm.
R.I.P.
It's kind of a difficult one for me though, because I feel like that's a question I can't really answer in terms of favourite, because I mean I think my favourite era is probably the 60s.
Yeah,
Just
Well,
because it
60s.
set the building blocks for the rest of the show. But the thing, even the first Dalek story is very good, but it's not perfect. It's a bit too long.
yeah.
And I don't like Dalek Invasion of Earth that much. But I love the chase because it's absolutely stupid and it's just ridiculous. But it's a lot of fun. I love 10th Planet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I would probably have a more confident answer if like I'd seen all of Classic Who, which I'm sort of close to doing now. And then I'll be free. Inferno, that was always sort of one I always went to revisit. What this? Oh, I did recently rewatch Remembrance of the Daleks, and everything. Like for years, I didn't really get it. I didn't get the hype behind Remembrance of the Daleks, but I watched it recently, and it just clicked with me. I understood what it was trying to do.
Right. I mean, I grew up on that episode, so
Yeah.
it's kind of Doctor Who distilled for me growing up.
But
yeah.
I finally sort of realised the sort of the lines they were, making, the racism thing, and tying that to the Dalek faction,
which was good, but I only came to this realisation like this year about the whole Dalek racism allegory thing, because it was always a case of the Daleks killed the Daleks which didn't obey, and before that it was never really about the purity. Because the thing is, in Revelation, they took the Necros Daleks, which were humans, and they just used them for their own gain. And they use Ogrons for their own gain, and all these other things, and human slaves. So they're not that bothered about purity. So that kind of just came out of nowhere for Remembrance for me. But it still was a great story, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good. What else? Oh god.
I love how every time Mana turns towards you, you can see the ring light in her glasses.
See? That's the thing about ring lights. You see the ring.
Yeah.
But, do you see it in my eye?
No.
God, I'm having a brain fart about this.
Yeah, you can sort of see it.
Oh, the Daleks Master Plan. That is a bloomin' great favourite of mine. It's like 12 minutes of goodness.
12 minutes, 12 parts.
12 minutes? Oof.
Good lord.
If only it was 12 minutes. Probably watch it.
You lost 12? Oof.
Those like first 6 parts are like so sort of provocative and like great sort of sci-fi, outer space political thriller sort of thing. Love it to bits.
With Nicholas Courtney not as a brigadier.
Yes.
Nick Cage.
Yeah, Nick Cage. Nick Cage was in Doctor Who, didn't you know?
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
And I also love like all the lore that's been built around the Daleks Master Plan.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Because
A lot of
like
stuff that branches
between episodes 7 and 8, you can fit in like a bunch of stories in there and sort of actually get the time to explore the characters more. Sort of just been rushed in and then rushed out of the story. Yeah, love that. Also the Romans. The Romans is underrated, I think. Love that. It's funny and it's fun.
I might start Doctor Who from the beginning, actually.
I tried that. Good luck with it.
Yeah. What you do is what that Tumblr user said, which is watch all of Doctor Who in chronological order based on what time period they travel to.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Could you imagine that?
You start off with Utopia.
The tonal whiplash would be insane.
Oh, that'd be difficult to watch, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
We'll go on to one of our topics. Let's detract from Doctor Who for a minute, because we've been talking about that for a bit. To a broader scale of MonoSupreme. So we have obviously been doing videos for quite a while, not under the MonoSupreme name. We've been doing it under various
It started
names.
off as Aussie Supreme for me, and then I went to Brickcast, which me and you did. Me, you, Charles, James, Ethan, Josh. So we're doing Minecraft stuff on there. I've done an in-depth video about my YouTube journey personally, but then we did Doctor Who Media, then changed to 70 Vlogs, and we started putting out reviews and stuff, and then you started your own YouTube channel with The Critical Geek. Was that in like 2012 or something?
12?
That was
Oh,
2014,
I don't know.
I think.
14, yeah.
Okay. So do you want to just talk about that?
I don't have that anymore.
No, it doesn't exist anymore.
Anything that I wanted to do myself that was, not always sort of Doctor Who related, I put out there. We did a film which I don't make public anymore because it's got me in a very weird role. But Oscar really liked it.
It's probably my favourite thing we've ever done. I love it so much.
Well, that's answered the question I was going to ask then.
Oh, what? The favourite thing?
Yeah, what our favourite video that we've done together. It doesn't necessarily have to be all of us, but what video we like that is with the name MSP or any of our sort of videos. So yours is that video that
the Uncle Barty.
they can't see.
Yeah.
God, what? I think
Doesn't necessarily have to be from like a film perspective, but like, did you enjoy making a particular film, or is there a particular film where you're like, I really like the cinematography on that?
I think when we did the end, I loved doing the end.
That was fun. Didn't we film that and Uncle Barty on the same couple of days?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's probably the best videos we ever did.
Uncle Barty first day, and then we started filming the end at night for the scene where I stab you.
Oh, that one shot was awesome. The one where you come in through the door and try and kill me. That is so good. Right, if you don't know what we're talking about, guys, I suggest you check out, it's called the Moffat Saga, I think, on the channel.
Yeah.
Moffat Saga.
It's 35 minutes, but if you want to skip to the bit we're talking about, then be my guest.
They won't know what timestamp it is. But there is a single shot in that, which was at the time called The End, which was a non-cut shot. We went from the front door all the way through the house, me grabbing a knife, going up the stairs into his room to kill him.
Yeah.
And it's just one long uncut shot, and it was, we did it very well.
Well, the
they
best
did
thing
it very
is,
well. I was just sort of walking.
The best thing is though, how we put the master theme tune on top of it, and you said, I really like disguises, and you unveiled it at the exact music beat.
Yeah.
It was so well done.
But that was the thing though. We did that multiple films where we sort of
riffed on
other
things that we liked.
Maybe, but the other thing I was going to say is that we were uncharacteristically on cue. Like, even with the Cyberman stuff, we don't really like talking about it, but the music thing, the non-royalty-free music, how I walked in just as
we're supposed to be good at timing music with with that stage.
Like, it's not like people might think it's like, oh, he's timing it himself, he's making sure that it maybe to an extent he is, but for those particular two, it was just happenstance, and it was really funny.
Just works really well, yeah.
So is yours the end?
Yeah, the end.
And yours is Uncle Barty.
Uncle Barty.
What's yours?
That's what I'm thinking of now. I've been in a lot of the I prefer comedy, but that's because I'm sort of comedy person. Looking back from a cinematography perspective, they weren't our best films, but they were quite fun to make. Like, even back in the day, Moffat was just one I showed up and did a bit of improv.
Yeah, we improved a lot on that.
But our improv has gotten a lot better though, because we did improv for most of the last video that I was in.
Oh, the attic one.
We didn't really write that was literally just improv. We showed up on the day, said we weren't going to do a film, and then just did it, and it was like, oh, it's pretty okay.
It turned out pretty good. A couple of hours work.
So my favourite one would be one of the comedy ones. I'd say probably one of the Saw ones, to be honest.
The original or the remaster? Or the Christmas one?
I'd say the Christmas one.
Yeah, the Christmas one was very fun.
I think the Christmas one is my favourite.
Because it balanced good filmmaking-ish, as well as something that was fun to do.
I like the bit where you stab yourself, Oscar.
Yeah, I like that bit as well.
Yes, I like it when you died. I very much enjoyed picturing you bleeding on the floor.
Right, YouTube.
Well, people are desperately asking me to ask, what is your favourite 12-inch product enterprise Dalek?
Oh.
The one which I can't get, the one which is like 350 quid, the red one. Send me it if you've got it, please. Thanks.
Send me money.
Oh, the Chrome one, the Chrome movie Dalek, the two rarest ones which I really want. So, but in my collection, the black one because that's the first Dalek I ever got. So, black and silver then.
He said it was his favourite.
Yeah, that's not racist. I don't like the white one.
White people.
I don't like the white one.
Guys, what do you think would work well from today forward? 45-minute self-contained episodes or 4-part half-hour stories? From today?
From today? No, I think the way the Doctor Who should be handled is, I think they should try like a story, an actual series-long story arc of, say, like 25-minute episodes where it's a continuous thread throughout the entire thing.
Just do Dalek Master Plan.
Just do the Daleks Master Plan, but now. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'd want.
I think it's on a case-by-case basis, really, because on the one hand, you have some things that are good with a slow burn. You can slowly build up on a story, and then Day of the Doctor, as much as it was bad in some aspects, it was quite good as a 1.5.
It worked really well as a single piece, as a single comedy piece, I'd say. But if you're going to put it in, I don't know, I don't like the Time War anyway. Me and Cyberplan talked in depth about that. Go watch that video. Very interesting discussion. But I don't know, the whole Time War thing, getting rid of the Time Lords, I was never a fan of. And then when they brought them back, they did nothing with them. So,
but as for me, it's just like, if I'm in the mood for Doctor Who and can't really be bothered watching anything, I'll just watch Day of the Doctor, and it's just a thing that's like, okay, I can just watch this without really having to go back and remember what's happened in a lot of the stories.
It's a fun, easy watch that a lot of people can just sit and watch. I guess that's probably the beauty of a story like that.
But I think, like, in a normal episode of Doctor Who, that probably wouldn't work, because it's the sort of thing that it wouldn't work for a series, because there's things that you expect the viewer to know before watching it.
Yeah, would you start the building blocks from scratch if you were to do like a full series long arc? Would you kind of scrap what's come before, because it maybe get a bit too convoluted?
But then again, it's like, okay, you've been building up this stuff for so long, why are you not using it? Why are you building from scratch now? Which is sort of a big problem. Like, obviously you experience it when you're changing over from head writer or whatever.
Yeah.
They just sort of scrap everything the previous writer did. It's like, okay.
I don't think this show should ever like reboot its continuity, even though the continuity is absolutely fucked now anyway. After Asylum of the Daleks was when it actually started, but that's a topic for another day. Yeah, go on.
I think that some stories need more time to tell than others, because I don't think, like, for a biggest example would be Blink. I think Blink is pretty perfectly paced.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think you really need. I don't know how you could do it in like 2 half-hour parts. Although, I mean, if you stretch, you could probably do it.
I picture this though. Right, you have my pitch of a series long arc of 20 episodes, or like 25 minutes each, and there's like a couple, like episode 7 and episode 17, which are completely nothing to do with it at all. So it's like a breather, it's a break.
We call those filler arcs.
No, but it's not even a case of being filler. It's just like the episodes which would be considered amazing in a normal series. You'd stick partway through a series.
What he is suggesting is an anime of 24 episodes, where some of the episodes are fillers, and then the rest of it is the story.
That's pretty much what I'm getting at, but you can get good fillers as well.
I know there are good fillers.
Yeah, Closing Time. We love that.
Oh, I love Closing Time.
Yeah, we love Closing Time.
I think something that Stephen Moffat once said about the future of Doctor Who and the future of TV shows in general was that because of Netflix, because of streaming services like Netflix being the place where you go to watch TV shows, the way in which runtimes of certain episodes are going to change, or how they should change, like if Doctor Who actually ever went on a streaming platform, then some episodes might be an hour long, some episodes might be 24 minutes long, some episodes might be 8 minutes long.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's like whatever the story needs, that's how long it should be, and you don't need to be constrained by TV time slots.
Especially with people like binge watching stuff nowadays. It's just like, okay, I'll watch half the series.
That would be my sort of preferred format, just having a free reign of runtime. Maybe there's a certain amount of minutes you have to use within a series, but you can sort of shift it around.
Yeah, switch it around, depending on what the story needs and what the
Depending on what
style
story
it's going
needs.
for.
Yeah.
You can do like a 5-minute short with only one character, or something like that, like a Blair Witch style kind of thing.
Yeah, using a certain amount of time throughout the series, I think, would be a good idea. My only problem with the any time problem for me would be that some writers may tend to either over make the episode so that the episode runs a bit long, or they may under make the episode and you're missing like a bit of the story because I don't know when to stop. Whereas with 20 minutes, you're like, okay, I'll see what I can get into this 20 minutes. I will adjust it to fit this time slot and see where we are.
I guess the whole point of we'll move on to the next thing after this, but the video I did about the clickbait video I did.
Which one? There's so many of them. I just don't remember.
The real problem with Doctor Who, that video. The thing I was getting about with that is the fact that the formula is just been the same for the past. How many years have I been back? I can't remember.
12, 13. No,
it's like 2005.
I keep underestimating.
Yeah, it's 2021 now, so
it's just the fact that everything's so predictable because we just know the formula of the show, and it would just be nice to shake things up. It's kind of what I was mainly going for in that video. But I'm going to be doing a response video to all the comments in that, so look out for that. Okay.
I've got a bunch of comments.
Oh, we've got a lot of comments. Come on, let's zoom through all of them.
Alright,
I want to read them all.
Mona and Lewis, what did you think of the paradigm?
Who asked that?
Devon Hassan.
Hey, Devon.
Are you talking about the video that he made that I didn't watch?
No, we're just asking you what you actually think of the design.
Paradigm Daleks.
Also, he says, I made a custom concept purple one called the Virologist.
Does he make memes go viral? Is that what happens? Because that's a good use for a Dalek. Making memes go viral.
I don't like a purple Dalek. Purple's my favourite colour though.
That'd be cool. I always wanted a purple Paradigm Dalek. That would look very sick.
But the paradigm, what do you and I think?
I think they're okay. I'm not the type to overanalyze.
See, that's the thing. That's like 90% of people who watch TV don't think that much about the design. Just get on with the stories, tell a good story. They're entertained. There you go.
I'm not sure whether I should take that as a compliment that I'm most people on TV or not.
I didn't mean it like that.
Commoner.
So this is the common
Thank
bitch.
you,
commoner. No, but the thing is,
this common peasant just watches TV for recreation. He doesn't review into it.
It's the same reason why I'd watch just TV that isn't Doctor Who. I just kind of take it as is. It's why I watch movies and stuff. Like,
I watched Men in Black International like 2 days ago just because I had nothing to do. And then I was like, oh, there's probably a bunch of plot stuff in there that didn't make sense, but I was just like, okay, I'm watching it because it's Men in Black and it's okay.
Yeah.
Which is about the most I could say for it. It was okay. It wasn't remarkable.
Paradigm, well, obviously they were first sort of introduced to me when I was like 10 years old, and I thought, yeah, okay, I like these. I don't like them as much as the Time War designs, but you know, I really like these multicolored Daleks as well. I was more sort of miffed in general that they sort of, well, I was let down anyway that they sort of introduced these new Daleks, and I was even at that age between sort of 10 and 12. I was sort of following what Moffat was saying along the way in the press about how, like, you know, I don't think he ever at the start said that he regretted them, but then he said, you know, later on, we're going to give them a break.
Yeah.
And I just thought that meant to give the silence the focus of the next story arc. I thought, well, that's a waste. You just introduce them and then you're not going to use it for like a whole series.
The thing is, though, like, I promise I won't talk about the Paradigm too much, because I talk about it a lot. But the whole point of things like Daleks and Cybermen and stuff in the Rusty Davies era was marketed towards kids. Like, Cybermen said delete, Daleks say exterminate, all that kind of stuff. And then they make these Daleks which are very appealing to kids, and all of a sudden every adult in the world has a problem with it. And it's like, come on, if you were a kid when these came out, you would love them. Don't say you wouldn't.
I mean, I'll say this about the Paradigms, I don't have much of an opinion of them. Up until that point, all you really had was, from a new series standpoint, I'll say, all you really had was the Bronze Daleks.
Which all the same.
So any other Dalek is like, oh, this is new, this
cool.
is
A new
interesting.
one, yeah.
So I was like, oh.
I think the problem was the fact that the Ironsides were in the same story, and the Ironsides,
they're
they're a
far
gorgeous
closer.
design. They are so good. Right, anyway, next question.
For each of you, in your opinion, what is the cringiest moment or creature from the TV series, new series or classic? The cringiest moment or creature.
The cringiest moment was when the Doctor said Clara Who, and then I just checked out. Like, I don't forgive Doctor Who at all for this. Or when they got Maisie Williams in. There you go. I cringed every time she was on screen.
Yeah. I like Game of Thrones. I'm still annoyed at that.
Cringiest moment or creature? Well, I guess my default one might have to be the Merca from Warriors of the Deep, just because of it looks like a pantomime horse.
Oh my god, that's what got us to cancelled.
Yeah.
Could we just forget Warriors of the Deep ever happened? Even as a kid, I thought that was such a bad episode.
But the Sea Devils that look like samurai, they look kind of cool.
They look cool.
Yeah,
but
I always liked that.
I don't really like the design of the classic side of the rings either. Sorry, I'm going to get kicked off the internet. But, oh well. But I'm mature enough to realise it's just a design. I'm more interested in what's happening on screen, so there you go.
Cringiest moment, I think... I suppose we'll have to have a conversation.
Why?
From Resolution.
Oh, wait, hang on. You mean
the internet goes down and the
that
the
bit,
family.
yeah. I guess we'll just have to have a conversation.
I guess we'll have to have a conversation.
Boomer jokes.
What?
Boomer.
I have never conversed with anyone.
No.
I'm assuming you're looking at me because you're wanting my answer, or are you just looking at me because I'm saying I don't want to converse with you? It's not really a cringe moment for me. It's a cringe, for lack of a better word, recurring gag of the Doctor hating Danny Pink because he was a soldier.
That was annoying.
Like
I kind of got where they were going, but I think it's probably because of the shame of what he did in the time. But then again, he saved everyone in the Time War.
Yeah,
that would have made a lot more sense before Day of the Doctor if he had a thing against soldiers because of what he had to do. But he redeemed it. So.
Yeah, you had the sort of. You've had plenty of other soldiers in new series that he hasn't reacted that way to. And you could say that's just 12, but
what it was doing, what that specific arc was doing, was it was basically riffing off the Doctor's attitude towards guns, and then later, sort of in Series 4, to soldiers, because the Sontaran stratagem. That's when the proper sort of soldier hate first really gets introduced. Because it's all like, I don't talk to people with. You know,
hang on, I'm trying to remember the line, but yeah, I remember the line.
Are you my mummy? That's the
one.
I'm
uncomfortable with people with guns, whatever. It was a bit sort of...
But again, it wasn't against literally every soldier, though. It was just against trigger-happy
You like
soldiers.
Ross, remember? He was like, his name was Ross.
Yeah.
So, saying that he just hates a soldier for being a soldier is like saying, oh, Peter probably would have hated Ross.
Yeah, exactly. I used to say Peter probably wouldn't have just said, oh, fuck you, Ross.
Fuck you. You haven't shot anyone, but I hate you.
So, yeah. Next question.
Yeah, I didn't Lewis. We're going with my topics?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're wanting a break, because I'm going to need to top up my drink.
Yeah, I'm going to need a drink as well. Right.
Yeah. We'll answer this and then we'll go on a break.
So, one that... I don't want to go... No, we've been talking about MSP and Doctor Who for a while. So...
What's MSP?
MonoSupreme podcast.
Oh.
It's MonoSupreme podcast.
Yeah, but
I never turned it into an initial.
So, we'll go with a more life sort of one. What shows other than Doctor Who, and what shows or movies are we interested in at the moment other than Doctor Who and anything related to Doctor Who?
I'll use your first.
I recently finished Berserk, the anime Berserk. It was really good, but apparently it's a very sort of incomplete adaptation of the manga, and everyone's always saying, "Oh, read the manga, read the manga." So I might do that next. But the anime on its own was really good. It was, yeah. I never thought really I'd like sort of medieval fantasy sort of stuff, but yeah, I really like Berserk. It's really well written.
I have also been watching a bit of anime. So I rewatched Assassination Classroom recently, which is quite good. And as I mentioned earlier, I've also been watching Fate. So I have...
Which one?
I was about to say which ones. I have finished... I've rewatched these. I've watched these already. I've watched Fate Zero and Fate Unlimited Blade Works.
Mm-hmm.
I rewatched those now, and then now I'm starting on Fate Apocrypha, which everyone online hates. I like it. I like Mordred.
I like it too. Yeah.
And then I'm going to watch Fate Extra, I think it's called.
I haven't seen that one.
No, but it's on Netflix, so I'm watching that as well. But other than anime, I really like those because it's medieval. Well, a lot of them are medieval, but it's historical, like Doctor Who in a sense. But it's also fantasy, magic, which I personally love. But other than those, I've also been watching, as I said, Men in Black International. I've rewatched Deadpool. There was another film that I watched recently, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was.
I'm trying to remember the last film I watched. It must have been.
If I went onto Netflix, I'd be able to see it, but.
Hang on.
Oh, IT Crowd is what I watched.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who doesn't love a bit of IT Crowd? My tutor in college always mentions it, so I just watched it again. I was like, yeah, who doesn't love ludicrous display last night? What was Wenger thinking? No, what was thinking? Sending on. Oh, I don't remember it now. Think about Arsenal. They always try to walk in.
I recently watched Midnight in Paris. Well, I didn't rewatch it. I watched it for the first time because for a production I was doing, I was studying up because I thought that there was a production I was doing that was inspired by Woody Allen. And in a sense it is inspired by Woody Allen, but not necessarily the filmmaking style. Just that there's a punchline to a joke that sort of references him a bit. So yeah, I watched Midnight in Paris. I actually quite enjoyed it. I'm not sure, I didn't think I would, but it's got a good sort of theme behind it of, you know, everyone in every era will think that the previous era was the best. It's all about nostalgia and stuff, and all about writers too, which, you know, as a writer, you know, I can relate to quite personally. So yeah, Midnight in Paris was pretty good. Like that.
And on to you.
Me?
Yes, you.
I've just been too tired to watch anything, to be honest.
No, I've seen
I've
what
just
you've been
come
working on.
I know. Well, I've been working on my action figure thing, so I've been doing a lot of work on that, and I've been working really late shifts, so I kind of don't have much time to watch TV. I watch YouTube quite a lot. I usually watch Good Mythical Morning a lot now. Just started watching all of their stuff back. First TV shows. There's a comedy on Netflix called Superstore, which
I've been watching that.
yeah, I've been watching that. It's quite funny. Kind of tailed off a bit towards the end, but started off really strong. What other stuff have I been watching? No.
Doctor Who.
Not really. I mean, I watched Can You Hear Me the other day, but that's the latest Doctor Who I've watched. But no, I wish I could answer that a bit more clearly, but I've just not really been in the mood for watching much recently. So we're going to take a quick break now, guys, because it is very warm in here.
Yeah, I made them turn the fan off because I care about your audio.
So we'll both go out of the room. Well, all three of us will come out of the room, leave the fan on, put the break screen ident up for you guys. Go grab yourself a drink, go grab yourself some popcorn if you've got some in the in your mum's cupboard. Go in and get the popcorn. Tell them that Aussie Supreme sent you. So we'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
Also tell your mum that you love her.
That I love her. I probably do. She probably fits. So.
Also, tell your mum to look behind her, and if she's a ginger person, run.
Run.
Because all ginger people are thieves. Did you cut a break on that?
Alright, we're sorry guys, but we are unfortunately in pretty bad quality because for whatever reason my camera just decided not to work. So we've had to resort to a webcam.
Where is it? I can't.
But if you guys made it this far, then well done.
Well, at least you've still got the audio.
Hey, it's a different view, so let's see if we can.
We make things look fresh.
Let's stretch it out to the
Stretch
size.
things out into.
My God, that is huge.
You'll love to see it. Wouldn't be MonoSupreme without some sort of technical difficulty.
So we're back, unfortunately.
Do you want to turn the camera
Not
off
with
if
the
you're not
good camera.
working with it?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, guys. I'm really sorry. But you just got to
We've still got some witty bants.
But the thing is, at least we've got good lighting. If we had bad lighting and a bad webcam, it'd be unwatchable. So.
Well, if we didn't have the lighting, it would literally just be this. Ow! I look straight at the light. My eyes
Don't
hurt.
do that. Don't do that.
This has become such a chaotic podcast now.
We're such chaotic people. I am on
Team
all of
Chaotix,
drugs,
that's what we are.
mainly coffee and some Windex. I have had 7 shots of espresso today, according to the cans.
That's true. Right, next question. Are we going comments-wise?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Castrovalva?
Pass. I can't remember.
It's a bit of a niche story, I guess.
Cool. Right, next question.
Castrovalva's pretty good. Pretty decent. I don't know. I think it was the start of.
Sorry, I'm gonna fiddle with this while you're talking.
It was maybe if we can get it working, we can.
Yeah.
It was the. I think it was probably the start of the 80s, who sort of using, like, starting to fall back on its own history.
Just you're gonna hear that beeping if you.
Oh yeah, the doodle.
Yeah.
Next
sort of in the first part when the Doctor is sort of like referencing like all his past incarnations and like acting like them, and then running around the TARDIS corridors like for a good episode and a half. It's like it's a bit strange. It's a bit alienating, I suppose, for new audiences. But you know, I like the sort of the weird abstract almost sort of construction of Castrovalva. It's a mixed bag, and also because that we don't really get to know the characters of Adric, Nyssa and Tegan all that well at that point, so they're kind of at that point they're almost strangers, and we don't really get any sort of like deep character moments,
Mm.
because they sort of got rushed in at, in Legopolis, and then they're sort of tagging along and they're just dealing with the situation, but you don't really get the time to explore who they are as people.
Sorry if I look like I'm just looking at my phone. I'm just reading through like all of the comments to see if I've or me or man has missed anything. Because I've seen a bit. Some people talking about Robot of Sherwood, and I think Richard was talking about how in some incarnations of the story, when we're talking about historical things, that Merlin was supposed to age backwards, which could be something about regeneration or something like that. But if you want to still talk about whatever you were talking about, because I wasn't listening.
It's fine, we'll move on.
No,
We'll move on
yeah,
Mr. Valve.
We've got more
Let's not answer questions where only one person can talk about something.
Or 2 people.
Haha.
Try
You and
and
me.
guys, try and ask some non-Classic Who questions in the chat, because
Yeah.
Lewis hasn't seen Classic Who much. So
Try
Hand it to Lewis.
try asking a normal human being questions.
I mean, I wouldn't
yeah, try and be a
exactly-
bit more vague.
I wouldn't exactly call Lewis a normal human being. I mean, Lewis refers to Lewis in third person, so. So you have another question?
Well, yeah. Hiya, is Season 6B canon to you guys?
Well, I've never really dived into it, so I don't know. It's kind of it's interesting, but at the same time, I don't know. It kind of just
We made a
takes
little
bit
joke about it in the sketchy film today,
the
didn't
sketch
we?
film today. So I'd rather it not be, but it's interesting as like an alternate universe kind of thing. I'd say, but I wouldn't call it canon.
Yes, it is canon.
Lewis
End
has
of
no
discussion.
opinions. Because Lewis does not subscribe to audio.
Exactly. Right, do you have a question?
I don't have a question, but I've got a talking point that we can
Talking point.
do for a bit. So, let's go for a bit of insight into the channel. I mentioned this to you last time, so you might not have many opinions on it, but I can keep rambling on for a bit about it. Do you think there is any sort of disparity between the personality you show on screen as opposed to how you would act in real life?
Right now, no. When I do the podcasts and stuff, not at all. I do kind of put a little bit of a presenter thing on, but I don't know. I kind of have this attitude towards everything in life, so this is the most transparent you guys will see me on YouTube. I try and be as personable as I can in my videos, but there is always a barrier, because you do have to have a switching off point. You need a divide, because you can't let YouTube consume everything you're about, because when you spend time with family and friends, you don't want to just be thinking about making YouTube stuff all the time, so you kind of got a bit of a disconnect. What about you guys?
This is me. On my good side, on a good day. I'm excited to do this. I like, doing this sort of talking with people. God, I knocked that down.
Yeah. I'm worried.
Yeah, it's just fun to do stuff. I enjoy doing things with people. But yeah, I guess there is a different side. You guys won't be seeing. When I'm behind closed doors, when I'm with family, when I'm with course mates. It's different.
Would you say there's a lack of transparency when it comes to YouTube? Or not?
I don't understand the question.
Lack of transparency, as in like all the people who pretend that they have everything sorted out, and my
Lights just
LED light just died.
Well, it's
So
fine.
we're going much more primitive. We're in 2011, guys. You've gone back in time.
Our spaceship has run out of power.
And we're
we are
currently
now-
crashing down to Earth now.
We've got about another 20-30 minutes before we're all dead.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's when the podcast will end.
Yeah, that's a lot of...
But yeah, as I was saying, like I think
Do you think that
people like
YouTube
PewDiePie
accepts...
people like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and PewDiePie have definitely made themselves a lot more transparent.
Yeah, they've got
over the few
very
years.
sort of passionate fan bases that some of them can be toxic, but a lot of them are very supportive to what they would.
Yeah,
do,
they're
I'd
a lot
say.
more open about things like, I don't know, mental health stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a massive chunk of the internet which kind of tries to shrug all that stuff off.
Because for
and
every one person that's like, oh, you should make content more often, you've got at least 10 people in their fan bases going, take all the time you need.
Yeah,
we
exactly,
support you for you, not
I mean,
for...
shout out to Captain Jimmy Pie. He had to take a bit of a break because things weren't going particularly well for him, which completely respect that. Take all the time you need to regenerate yourself. If you feel like you can't come back to YouTube full time, then that's cool. do whatever is right for you.
I mean, if we're doing shout-outs, I'd also like to give a shout-out to RT Gain, who's a YouTuber I watch. A lot of the questions I have put on here today are from his new podcast, ASMRT, which I would personally recommend. And he has, from the comment I saw today, said he might take a bit of a break from YouTube, but he will still do his podcast because he really enjoys his podcast.
Yeah.
There's 3 episodes of that on now, so they're worth a watch, I'd say.
I do think there is a transparency, but also some people do fake their personalities, and I think the main advice that most people just sort of give is be yourself when you're doing content creation. Which shouldn't be advised if you're an actor.
There's definitely an element of acting involved when it comes to making YouTube videos.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, for me, because I haven't answered this.
That's
Fine.
No.
I don't need to be answered. I want to be an enigma to all of the viewers. No, I'll definitely say that there is a big difference between how I would act normally and how I appear on screen. It may not be a big difference to you guys because I put on... It's not a big act, but it's sort of... I try to be very energetic when we're in filming mode. I try to sort of keep up this... I am the force of chaos here.
You like to be rude to keep us on our feet.
Pretty much. Rudeness is the sort of my route for being random. I'll just spurt random stuff out. People will build on it. I'll build on that further until we end up with something. But, yeah, as you were saying, by myself or with people that I sort of talk to on a regular basis, I'm a bit of a... I'd like to think I'm a bit of a different person. I think on these and on the videos especially, I can come off quite rude, and that I sort of don't really care.
Is this a bit, Lewis? Is this a bit, or is it the real you? And should we cancel you for it?
Well, you should cancel me, full stop.
Just cancel Lewis.
It's fine. Filmmaking isn't my profession. If you cancel me, I'll just go back to work. But no, as I've opened up to some people recently, and I do think there is this sort of tendency that people are like, oh, you're a bit rude when you talk to people. I'm like, no, that's just a sort of act.
I think.
My favourite thing is, which I was talking to my course tutor about this because he does the same thing. Someone asks you to do something. I'm spreading this now, if he is watching, which he won't be, thankfully. If someone asks you to do something, without fail, say, don't tell me what to do.
And see what the response is.
But you still do it. You still actually do it, because if you're not doing it, it's rude. Like, someone says, can you do the dishes for me? Don't tell me what to do. And then you go do them.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to do that to my area manager. She did not like it. I still do it to this day. She's learned to live with it. But yeah, I do think there is a bit of a disparity. I feel like I just need to be a bit more energetic on... Because no one wants to watch someone's like, hello, today.
Well, there are some people who like that kind of content. Like action figure reviews, people will just happily just watch someone goes, so this is the articulation, this is the detail, thank you. And as soon as someone changes it up and starts to try putting sketches in their animations and things, people go, oh no, I want the old stuff back. It's like when Good Mythical Morning expanded the formula and tried to do like 4 shows in one day.
Yeah.
People just had a hissy fit and said, no, I want it to go back how it was.
But yeah, if you do watch the ASMRT podcast I was saying, the second episode, the person called Spiffing Brit had quite a sort of healthy looking, I'd say, in that he was saying he puts on a character, but he does that to protect himself, because if viewers don't like his channel, there's the sort of disconnect of they must not like the personality I'm putting on, but that doesn't mean they don't like me as a person.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, you're also like, for the people that do like me, they only like me because I am this person. They don't like me for how I am.
That's well put. Segue on to our next question.
Yeah. Richard Coleman says, come on, Ozzy, we all know you're in the know, getting free figures and all. When are we going to get the Marna and Lewis companion figures?
Oh, yeah.
Next week. There
I
you
can
go.
see one
Look
over there.
out.
They're actually pretty good. They're very well painted.
But there are a couple of customs which I did make of me and Lewis, which I will show off in a future video.
Wait, I've got one.
Look, on the right.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's you.
God, we're such teasers.
Yeah.
We'll never review that. We'll never post it. You'll just have to take our word for it.
Oh, and there's a life-size bust of me in the corner.
Yeah.
Which you'll never see.
Naked as well.
Thank you.
Like full.
Everything.
Everything is on display.
It's donated.
honestly-
It's an actual body. It's all been donated.
It's honestly disturbing to look at,
Hmm.
but you know your eyes do gravitate towards it.
Accurate representation as well.
Anyway,
next
it looks
question.
a bit. It looks a bit out of proportion in some areas.
It captures Oscar's soul perfectly.
Yeah, he is a massive dick.
I love
Exactly. There you go. See? It's accurate.
I was
I
just
am
gonna
rude.
say, a Lovecraftian monster horror thing.
Yes, love me Cthulhu.
Yeah.
All them tentacles.
Quickly shoot through these questions. Have you ever watched Thunderbirds? Yes.
No.
Movie.
Thunderbirds was like my special interest before Doctor Who. It was like I literally had like a birthday party where I dressed up as like
Wow.
one of the Thunderbird captains. Anyway.
Yeah.
I watched the Thunderbirds movie. I had a friend in primary school who watched Thunderbirds.
Yeah,
I
I
did
love
not
the-
watch the
I love the
actual
Thunderbirds
other one.
film. It's brilliant.
I loved it first time watching it. Don't ever rewatch it. It's awful.
Is it?
Absolutely.
For each of you, what's your favourite Doctor Who figure /
Already done
model and why? Well, I'll just answer none. Don't really collect action figures. I mean,
No, if you just look at that shelf.
I
and
like
go,
that
"Oh,
one that I'm pointing
that
at. You
looks
can't
awesome."
see it, but I like that one.
Pick one of my
I'm
customs.
not pointing
Pick one
at
of my
any in
customs.
particular, but
yes,
I like
he is. He's
that one.
picking the Necros Dalek.
Am I?
Yes, you were.
I wasn't
Yeah,
even looking. I was
yeah,
just
that
literally pointing in a random direction.
My favourite Dalek.
Does it have to be a Dalek?
Well, what else is there to choose from? Davros.
There's some back here. There's Jodie up there. There's
Yeah, but I'm
Christmas
sure you can probably
Hero.
admit the Time Crash set is a cool set though.
Well, when it's boxed, certainly.
Yeah, there you go. We got an answer. Next question.
lightning round.
Definitely
Yeah,
Hassan
pretty much.
keeps asking, like, did you know questions? One of them was...
Pick one and we'll answer it.
Alright, did you guys know that Richard Griffiths was going to be the 8th Doctor at the end of season 27 if
No, I
the
didn't
show
know
wasn't axed? I don't think that's confirmed. I don't think that they actually ever asked Richard Griffiths. I'm pretty sure...
Who is that? Would I know him?
He's the guy who plays the abusive uncle in Harry Potter.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
I can't really see it.
Uncle
Oh.
Vernon.
Also, Uncle Monty in With Nil 9.
Which I still need to watch with Lynn. That is definitely on the
Yes.
list. It's quite high up on the list. It's on the list.
Good. Watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Everybody, right now, go watch With Nil 9.
I did not know that. But did you know that we met Chris Chibnall in Cardiff?
No, we met Rusty Davis.
No, we met Chris Chibnall in
Oh, it was Chris Chibnall in disguise.
That's how you have his phone number.
Yeah, that's how I got his
Yeah.
phone number in Cardiff.
How to write a Doctor Who script.
Watch that video if you haven't, guys.
Yeah.
Go watch all of our videos.
Just watch all of our videos.
Yeah.
We're
I don't need to tell you to watch a specific one. Just put it on a playlist. Watch it. Don't eat. Don't sleep. Don't do anything
don't
else.
repeat.
Just watch our videos. That's my plea to you.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Richard Griffiths was the equivalent of Michael Sheen and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, people who the bookies say are going to play the next Doctor.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure nobody actually ever approached him because it's never confirmed. Ozzy, please don't use terms like toxic. It's cheap and provocative and pandering to a group of the fandom that paint anyone that doesn't agree with their politics.
Who asked that?
Man, that's toxic.
Richard Coleman.
What did I even say was toxic? I can't remember.
I don't remember you
either.
saying toxic.
No, I don't think I've ever said that word. Or maybe I have. I don't know.
Maybe I
I
just
don't.
wasn't listening
The
to
thing
you.
is with language, I don't really pay that much attention to what I say. Stuff just comes out, and if someone gets offended by it, then I apologise. But I don't know.
You know what is
It just
toxic?
happens.
That song by Britney Spears.
Patreon special, please. Patreon special, everyone.
Oh, Patreon kind of got paused again because it was just too much work and it was a bit pointless. Anyway, next question. Well, we're not big enough to actually get any kind of score from it, so there's no point.
We'll bring it back maybe in a few years.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Yeah.
If we've got, if we reach 1,000, then I'll probably bring it back.
It's something you need a very passionate fan base for,
Mm.
and we're not saying that you're not passionate. It's just it's not comparatively to what we spend on some films.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if we're going to talk about spending on
we
making videos,
20 quid just on Friday for.
What did we buy? I forgot. Oh yeah, the Cyberman stuff, was it?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say what it was, but yeah.
Oh well, I've written a short Cyberman film, which is probably going to get filmed in, who knows, next month, maybe after that. I don't know.
Next year.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
You already know. You already have like the answer to this. Did you guys know the Paradigm originally going to come back in Series 9? I would have loved to see them with Peter Capaldi.
It was never a case of them going to come back. Well, I don't know. They kind of were brought onto set on a couple of occasions.
And then they
But
got
the thing
shafted
is,
at
I
last
think the
minute.
production team were just told to grab all of the props from the Doctor Experience, and that's what happened. And as soon as they got there, it's like, use that, don't use that, use that, don't use that. So I don't think it was a case of almost being used. They were never planned to come back, so there'd have to be a narrative reason for them to come back, I think.
A non-Doctor Who question: are there any current series each one of you would recommend?
Wait, it's this non-Doctor Who?
TV
Yes.
series, so just.
I say Superstore. It's funny.
Ooh, The Good Place.
Yeah, that's funny as well, from what I remember.
I've just forgotten every series I ever loved.
That happens to
I've
me all the
forgotten
time.
everyone I ever loved.
Oh, there wasn't that many to begin with. But yeah, literally all I can remember is what I've said today is IT Crowd. It's quite an old one compared. Well, it's not old, but it's not modern. It's very funny. There was a bunch of series on TV I used to love. Looking back at them, they're all shit.
It's like when I rewatched Primeval, it was awful. Because I remember loving it at the time, but then when I rewatched it last year, it was like, my god, this
I
is
used to
bad.
love How I Met Your Mother, and I was like, oh, this is absolutely atrocious.
Class. I recommend Class. But the
Yes.
reason I recommend it is to get a bunch of mates around and just take the piss out of it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We did that just
We
recently.
did that before the podcast, and it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's absolute junk, but it's fun to make fun of.
Fun to make fun of, which is what I love.
Have you guys watched Batman the Animated Series? Kevin Conroy's Batman and Mark Hamill's the Joker.
No.
I have not, but I've heard good things about Mark Hamill's Joker. Everybody always says he's the best Joker.
Mm.
But no, I haven't seen it. I've seen like clips.
The thing is, I'm going to go over the standard and say that Heath Ledger's the best so far. And the thing is, I don't think anyone's done a bad portrayal of the Joker. There's been bad Batmans, like Val Kilmer. And I don't like Adam West, but he seems like a really awesome guy. He was great in Family Guy, but I didn't like his Batman that much. But yeah, I like Jared Leto's Joker as well. Sorry, I know nobody else does, but there you go.
I haven't watched the animated series, but I have played the Arkham games, which have Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Oh yeah, they do.
I love his voice. I absolutely love him as the Joker. It's funny just to hear him taking the piss and having a laugh with it.
Gets paid to do that.
Well, yeah, but if you pay to do what you love, does it really matter?
No, I meant that in a good way.
I know.
Can you imagine if you woke up one morning and just went into a recording booth for an hour and a half and you got like a 10 grand paycheck?
Well, yeah,
That'd be
that's...
sick.
So,
Yes.
I work in retail, and I always tell the story to people I work with. The place that I love is when we went to Bristol, I think it was.
Oh, that was
That
awesome.
it might have been Leeds, but I think it was Bristol. Where we went into like a toy shop or something, and I loved that store for one reason.
Why?
When we walked in, the employees were having a Nerf gun fight.
I don't remember that.
I do remember it. I remember it, and I love it. I was like, yes.
Imagine
this,
that being your job. Yeah.
This, Some customers might complain. I love it. I want to go back there just because they were having so much fun having a Nerf gun fight with each other. So I just love people who can have fun while working.
Having the 11th Doctor's job in closing time.
Yes.
To play with the silver rat thing.
Get your parents to buy stuff. I'll just play with the toys.
What are your thoughts on the Product Enterprise Gold Dome 12-inch Dalek? I got one, but it partially works, so I need to get it fixed.
There's a lot of Product Enterprise questions.
Yeah, it's from the same one, Dalek Collecting.
Oh, I'm a bit confused.
I wonder why he
Do you mean the planet one? Because that's quite rare. You're very lucky to get that. Send it my way. I'll pay you... whatever you got it for, I'll double it. And
I'll pay you the amount of a pack of jelly beans if you give them to me.
But yeah, good find, man. Really good.
Like the cheap ones, not like being boozled.
Have you three ever moved house? If so,
Several times.
If so, what was the most nightmare part of it?
I kind of went through... Oh, I'm going to get really dark here, but I kind of had a really horrible, depressive episode after moving from Gargrove to Skipton. And that kind of like messed me up for the next
Skipton's
year.
a very bad place.
But we just moved into an apartment.
Yeah.
And it was a really horrible place to live. We really didn't like the neighbours. So that's probably the worst move that we've ever had. But yeah. What about you guys?
I think... Ooh. Well, I've moved homes like a lot in the last 10 years. First time I remember moving house was 2011. And it was sort of an unreal experience to me. Because I was like, you know, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real.
It's weird, isn't it? It feels like it's all in limbo.
Yeah, and people... My granny was sort of watching me at the time while everyone else was helping my mum, you know, move stuff over to the new house, and she just sort of made fun of me a bit for it. And I don't know, you just I don't know if it's a nightmare part, but the fact that you eventually start becoming desensitized to the amount of times you move house, and eventually nothing actually feels like home anymore.
No magic.
Just wherever the things that make you most comfortable are, that is home.
As much as I kind of get annoyed about me not having more space, this has been the most homely place I've been since I was at 6 years old. Or 7, 8, 9, I don't know. Anyway.
I have lived in the same house for 19 years now. I have not moved once within living memory. I remember what my last house looked like, vaguely.
What, when you were 2?
Okay, I was being a bit hyperbolic when I said 19. It's more like 16. So, I was very young. I remember what it looked like. That's about it. I know we moved a couple times before that. That's due to circumstances with my family. I'm not going to go into that. That's personal to them. But the biggest change, obviously, was I was born in Holland, so I lived in Holland for 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Before moving back here. But no, I don't remember anything from moving. We've lived in the same house with my mum and stepmum forever, so I don't remember anything other than that. The only stories I could give would be about having a childminder take care of me and staying at their house or something. So, yeah, I suppose I've got security in that, but at the same time, when I come to move out, I'm going to have no idea about the process.
Yeah, so I don't know what I'm doing.
We'll
get there eventually.
We've bought a house. I'm not going to know anything about renting or utilities or any of that. So, there's pros and cons. Mainly pros.
See, on the podcast, you get to hear about stuff you wouldn't hear in any other video. So.
Exactly. Richard Coleman, I have to get up for work in 3 hours. time.
Then why are you still watching this?
It's because he never catches our live streams, so I think.
Well, I never catch your live streams.
Well,
'Cause you're on it.
you've definitely influenced it a lot. You've definitely asked a lot of questions. So you've made your mark now. So you can go to sleep now. Get your rest.
You need that beauty.
Or you could do what I do, and it's like, I'm meant to be awake in like 3 hours. I'm just going to stay up at this point and be absolutely exhausted during the day, and blame it on that for the rest of the day.
I do get
before I crash.
I do get scared when it reaches a point where I no longer think I'll be able to wake up on time. So I will just stay up.
I did that with so this was my last assignment of my college year this year. This was our first word locked assignment. It was set at 3,000 words. It was a review of what I'd done for a project in IT. And it was due the day I'd stayed up. I'd been so busy with work and with other projects at college that I just didn't get a chance to do this before then. So we had a class where we were supposed to complete it. And I basically was stressing about other stuff and went, okay, well I may as well just do my college assignment then, write 3,000 words off the top of my head, sound like a posh twat, because that's how I write assignments, I sound very posh.
Yeah.
And then it got to about 5 in the morning, and I was like, okay, at most I'm going to get 4 hours sleep, but I'm probably going to have to wake up earlier to get there. So I'm just going to stay up and watch IT crowd during class. And my tutor was like, okay, cool, your assignment's done, you can just do whatever.
I recently finished year 2 of university, and one of the assignments I didn't really do the writing stage until a lot later. It was a documentary module, and I literally stayed up for a good 24 hours. Like, I was rushing between sort of activities that I had to finish, and then within the sort of last 12 to 15 hours I had to finish all the writing work, all the e-portfolio stuff, and I submitted it. I went through to the morning and I was like getting so tired, and then occasionally needing pick-me-ups and like, oh, I've not even put anything in this section. It's like, oh, I'm gonna fail. Anyway, I managed to put something in every little section, and I submitted like 12 or 18 minutes before the submission.
Well, I'm pretty sensible when it comes to submissions, so there you go.
Yeah, you can actually organise yourself better than I can.
Right, okay.
I'll say what?
Thoughts on
What are we doing about Lewis's questions? Because how many have we got left?
They're not. These aren't strict questions.
Can you condense any of them into one, like 2 in 1?
What's the most interesting ones?
Well, we talked about that one.
Peter Pratt as the Master is pretty good.
We talked about that one.
But he's just a skeleton, like he's
I've
like behind the
heard
mask.
was.
Those three are the ones that are left, really.
Um.
And we've sort of talked about that in shows we like.
Yeah, I think we'll do 2 because.
How old are you, Richard Coleman? What do you mean you're not allowed to have beauty sleep?
Right, YouTube influencers. I think it's probably a bit. You probably can guess mine. Batman March, Vote Saxon, Go Mythical Morning, AJ Go to the House of Masks. I'm not. Thing is, new YouTubers, Doctor Who Adventures, who we had on a podcast. I've been watching. I binge their videos a lot, and they're kind of motivating because they're the most positive kind of Doctor Who content you can actually get on YouTube. I like Richard Lloyd's videos too. I'm not just being biased because I had them on the podcast. I genuinely enjoy those kind of videos.
Name drop someone who we don't know.
I love these people that have been on my podcast.
Cole Hastings. Cole Hastings is like a self-development coach. He does really good content on YouTube. I think that's about it.
Gold Chrome Dalek 12-inch. This person really wants to let you know.
You're gonna have to. You can. Okay.
We
read your comment now. Yeah, you're gonna have to send me proof. Otherwise, I won't believe you. Is it boxed? And if it's, send me a picture on Instagram. And if you did get that, well done, man, because that is insane. You probably spent $1,000 on it or something, because they are very, very rare. But well done, man.
For me, I don't think I've got influences per se, because obviously I'm not as not invested isn't the word, but it also is. I don't control a lot of what happens. I will just show up on a day and try to make it random, chaotic, and keep us all in somewhat of a mood to continue filming. I'm not involved as much in the ideas process as I feel like I should be.
Like the pre-production stuff.
Yeah.
That's mainly
because I'm not... Oh, and another one of our lights has died, I think.
Really?
Which one?
I don't know, I just saw the screen get real dark.
That was weird, wasn't it? I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, but I'm not an avid filmmaker, so I'm not really as much into helping with this as possible, because I don't know how I could help. So, if I'm talking about influences, it would more be people who I feel are light-hearted and interesting to listen to speak. In which case, there's people like a DIY YouTuber I watch called a YouTube channel I watch called Evan and Caitlin.
What about Bob's Workshop?
Oh, I've got that liked on my video. I love that recommendation. But
Google Bob's Workshop, everybody. Do it.
But they make very random videos, but they're always very fun to watch. I used to watch Daniel Hardcastle back in the day, so Nerd Cubed. I thought he was very funny when I watched him. I don't really watch him as much now.
Is the guy from Nerd Cube the really nice guy, the really like energetic guy who did like an interview with like the YouTube CEO and stuff like that? Who am I thinking of? The guy with like the higher pitched voice. Or is that Game Theory?
I was going to say that's MatPat from Game Theory.
Oh, that's MatPat. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Daniel Hardcastle is the one who is friends with Many a True Nerd, John, and Mataphobia. He's got like really curly hair. But yeah, I just sort of am into comedy people because they're light-hearted, easy breezy. They can just say whatever and keep something working.
That's the thing with YouTube. Like, I think I was guilty of taking it a bit too seriously back in the day, and I think this year has kind of been a bit of a resurgence of trying to lighten it up a bit. Because why would you want to do something which you don't want to do? Why would you do something you don't want to do?
Yeah, exactly.
So I just made the executive decision, because I took a break after I did like a load of reviews and stuff, and I was a bit burnt out, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to write a Matt Smith sketch, because like old times, just make something fun, which we can all enjoy making, and that's kind of what's started up the resurgence of this content, I guess.
Just
Yeah.
doing what we love because we love it, not doing what we feel like people will love, and then us second.
There is a bit of a balancing act though, because if I stopped doing things for the viewers, then I'd lose the viewers, and the channel would just fade into obscurity, and it wouldn't get recognised. We won't get guests on the podcast and stuff. We won't have these opportunities. So we kind of do have to keep up the online persona a little bit. But the moment we start not enjoying it, we need to kind of reevaluate and go, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And focus it a bit more.
What is making this more of a chore than something I want to pursue?
Yeah, exactly.
How about you, man?
My YouTuber influences are Chugga Conroy, which I know you know.
Chugga Conroy.
Yes, I love his energy. Yes.
He's another person who used to take a lot. I think he still takes breaks quite often from YouTube because of health conditions, and we're still looking for it.
Yes, exactly. Stu Bagfull, who I introduced Oscar to years ago.
Oh, and that's the clip. Clip photo.
Guys,
That's for you.
bow down to
It looks
your
like a
overlord.
Funko Pop.
The box looks a bit Funko Pop, doesn't it? Which
Yeah.
is quite funny.
Cool.
I am very jealous. Very jealous. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so Chugga Conroy, Stu Bagfull, I think he's definitely influenced my sort of sense of humour, my sense of satire almost.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You,
I'll also
You can just tell from reading these scripts, like, this is something Stu Bagfull would say.
Also, quickly, just because you mentioned Chugga Conroy,
Yeah.
Messiah Nell is another one I like.
Yes.
Because
She's funny. She's very funny.
If you look at her first content note, she was very shy.
Oh,
and I
sorry.
love that.
Speed Supersonic and Sam Procrastinates. There you go. They are massive influences on this channel, subconsciously. Yeah, correct.
5 Who fans.
Yes,
Bloody
definitely.
love
5
their
Who
content.
fans.
There's only 3 of us.
You know what? We should get it to 5 Who fans. Richard, Miles Taylor, join us now, and we'll make a badass 5 Who fans.
Not
channel.
right now, but now
Yes.
within.
We're calling you out.
This is our call.
You live near us, so get a taxi over here. You know where I live. We'll create the 5 Who fans. That's it.
Oh, I think we're already hitting that.
5 Who fans resurrected.
It's like 11. Oh, fuck. Anyone else that you like?
Oh yeah. Who is it? Oh, Brian Lemond, who on YouTube is known as Lemmy, which neither of you know.
No, Sweaty, get it back to you. That's Lemmy.
You know
Ace
him?
of Spades, the Ace of Spades. No, I'm seeing that.
Yeah, he's harsh, but also he's nice. He's decent. He's funny. He's got the. He streams nowadays. Since the lockdown, he does streams.
JXC, is that another one for you?
Yeah, I guess so. He's a bit. I don't want to sound posh and reserved, but he's a bit profane.
Yeah, I can see that, but
to call. But I like his content. I like his talking points. Definitely. But yeah, just people who make comedy and make scathing satire, and then the one who is not like the other Chugger Conroy. I just like his personality. I just known him.
Proton John, or is it the other one?
Proton John. Yeah, I don't watch his videos, but
Or is it Nintendo Capri-Sun?
Yes, I like all those guys.
I like the one that's very shouty. Game
Also,
Grumps as
Steven
well.
Vlog. I love Steven Vlog. He's done a vlog every day since 2009. I think that's quite amazing.
So I was just looking at this.
Zoomers.
I was just looking
On
at
their
comments.
phones.
Gen Z, I prefer. Okay then, I don't really see many comments, so we'll move on to the
take
final-
care, Richard.
Oh yeah, you gone?
Demimana Vicily.
Close enough. So we'll move on to my final topic that I wrote down, which is a blatant rip-off of the ASMR Tea podcast if you watch it, because they always end their podcasts on this same question. How would you want to be remembered? If you were to die on your way home today, how would you want to be remembered by people?
Yeah, but everyone else is going to die, so everyone will forget anyway, so there's no point. So.
But in that brief time when people knew each other.
You don't necessarily have to want to be remembered. It's just, if you want to be remembered, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as someone who isn't like a meathead, a towny boy, or anything like that. Just as a normal, genuine person. That's kind of all I ask for, really. A creative, a lover, a carer.
This feels like a monologue from some film.
No, it's totally ad-libbed.
I'm a smoker, I'm a joker,
I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun.
I'd like to be remembered as a gentle soul, which nobody who actually knows me considers me as such. No, I suppose I'm not. I want to be remembered as neither innocent nor corrupt. I suppose.
Okay.
Yes, that is very detailed.
Very interesting.
What about you, Lewis?
I want to be remembered as that tall person in the corner who didn't really contribute much to society, but was just there. No. I feel like, yeah, my defining features are just that I'm tall, rude, and occasionally I'll come up with something funny. I don't really want to be remembered in any profound sort of way. I don't want people to remember anything I've done, because I haven't done anything of note. Maybe to some people see me in a different way and want to remember something I have done, but personally, I don't think I've done anything worth remembering in a profound way. I just want to remember as someone who was here and was just like, at least tried to make things light occasionally.
Yeah.
I will remember you for your personality, Lewis.
Oh, thanks. I'll remember you as a gentle soul because you're smaller than me. And
Well,
one thing I always
you're
say,
the only person who says that about me.
and one thing I will always say is, people smaller than me are gentle unless they're like around 5 foot, in which case
They're aggressive.
They are aggressive and they will kill you.
Mm.
One of my best friends at college, we have a joke that I'm scared of her. I'm not actually scared of her, but if we were to face up, she would beat me up.
She'd beat you up.
I would be dead.
Right, okay guys, that's the end of our scripted questions, so before we go before we leave, drop as many questions as you can.
Yeah.
Anything you've always wanted to know about the channel, drop it and we'll answer it here.
Anything as us people.
We've got Cynical who's just commented.
Oh, I recognise that name. I feel like you're an established...
I recognise you as well.
Person.
I don't know anything
Yeah,
about you, but I recognise you.
A note to you, I think, because I don't remember saying anything contradictory to. Just a note, JXE mostly goes by she/they pronouns now, loving the stream tonight.
Right, yeah, I was kind of in question about whether... Because obviously she has obviously become a lot more feminine, so I kind of did question, is it she now? So,
And it's the
thanks
same,
for clearing that up.
Yeah, and it's the same with Council of Geeks.
Yeah, exactly.
I've found out it's Vera, the name she goes by.
I knew
now.
the Vera thing from the beginning because she did the cross-dressing thing, like, I don't know, 10 years ago or whatever. So I always knew that there's the Vera side of things, but I didn't know that Nathaniel had transitioned into Vera now. So, yeah.
I don't know these people. There's a YouTuber I've mentioned that I watch called Logu, and she literally just reads Tumblr stuff. But I watched her content for about a couple months thinking, this is a guy, and then suddenly she goes, her name is Catherine. I'm like, oh, this is a girl. Oh well.
Yeah,
I apologise.
You said my video had
Logu
heavy logo.
I think that's how it's said.
Logo.
Just because it was just like sing-songy and random at stages, and just a bit.
It's a bit of my quiet personality. Hopefully, the next videos that I have and will produce will seem more energetic.
Maybe we'll do a video eventually where I'm fully in charge of everything.
We should give you a solo video.
Yeah, we should, absolutely.
Please don't. It would be the last video we ever made,
but the
because
thing is,
the camera would break.
We'd be on the other side of the camera though. It's not like we'd actually ask you to do it by yourself in your own house. So we'd sit behind the camera and...
Well, you can be, the director or the producer or whatever, You can boss us around, whatever.
I don't like bossing people around. It's my job at work, but I don't like doing it.
Yeah, don't do it as a hobby. I feel like the audio's kind of peaked a lot because of when we
started shouting.
Well, you guys will have to.
No one's gonna watch this afterwards anyway, so it's
well,
much.
I might.
Maybe.
I'm very self-centered. I like watching myself.
I'm jealous of your UK 100 Time Crush set.
Good.
Oscar, waving it around and saying bow down to your overlord. It's not my place to say where this would go.
What are we talking about?
Why is Richard still here? You said you're going!
Oh, you mean the gold Dalek? Yeah. That's because I don't know what the username was. The Dalek Collector.
Dalek collecting.
Dalek collecting is above everybody. Like, okay, if you want to go into like, I don't know, hierarchical structure, he's above the Queen and the Prime Minister and the President and everyone. Just, I don't know.
Wait, who are we talking about again?
Dalek, he's got access to every single nuclear weapon on the Earth as Dalek collecting.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to respect his position of power, otherwise he's probably going to get like an FBI agent and just shoot your ass. So respect Dalek collecting.
That's why I recognise the name. Sinal Kahoo is just saying they've been viewer for about 5 or 6 years, and they've just thought about tuning into the stream. So thank you.
Thank you.
What
Yeah,
the heck?
I definitely recognise your name. I feel like I have watched your content.
I checked out your history of transgender Doctor representation video the other day. It's really good.
Um,
Enjoyed that.
A very quick one we can all answer easily.
Yeah.
Do you like tea?
Fruit tea, that's it.
Fruit tea.
Yeah, fruit infused teas.
Huh.
They make apple and blackberry.
I've never had that. That sounds nice.
I
Yeah,
can't say
I
it's
watched
nice.
your Paul McGann Figure Adventure. That was it. That was the one that I watched.
I can't say it's nice because I have a very American taste bud. I drink coffee.
I used to not like any even remotely adult drink until recently. I started drinking tea. Don't drink it regularly, but you know, if someone offers it to me not during the summer, then I will, you know, have a cup of tea.
I've got a friend at college. I'm going to call him Caligula because he would know if he watched, but if they're not watching, I'm not revealing the name. And we went out to a cafe to drink for last Wednesday or something, and he got loose leaf tea. And after every sip, he would go, "Oh, that's a good brew, innit? That's a good." And
Proper Northern.
there was Then there was two other people with us. I had a latte, and they had Coke. Just him like, "That's a good brew, innit? Yeah, yes." Loose leaf tea.
Drinking an orange juice. Ooh, that's good brew.
Oh, it's got very tart.
That's a very
flavour.
well condensed sugar condensed drink.
Also, tiny bit sour.
Hey, if anyone who's watching is a Sonic fan, ask me a Sonic question, please. I like those.
What's your favourite Sonic game?
Guys, we've got to talk about Sonic Colors Ultimate.
Yeah,
The remaster in Sonic
you mentioned
Colors.
it today.
This is my
buying it.
favourite Pride themed game because
Sonic Colors, there's a lot of colours in it, so there you go. That's probably why they're releasing it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Appealing to kids and appealing to people
They're also
who are
releasing
LGBT.
Skyward Sword
people who
remake
appreciate rainbows.
and Diamond and Pearl remake, which that's 3 games I now need to buy.
Yes. And the other Pokemon game that's accompanying it.
Neither
Neither of which I'll be able to afford.
Legends of Arceus or something.
Yeah, Arceus, Pokemon Legends Arceus, that's it.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy that one. I'm going to get Diamond and Pearl, I'm going to get Skyward Sword remake, and I'm also going to now have to get Colours remake. My favourite Sonic game, as we were talking earlier, is
Sonic and the Black Knight.
Sonic and the Black Knight, because I love Medieval. It wasn't the best game story-wise. It was probably one of the worst.
The thing is, I enjoyed the story, I enjoyed the art style, I like the voice acting, but I still like the controls.
Whereas I just sort of, as a kid, like just slash.
That's fun, but in terms of it was very stiff. Is the movement on that game, and literally like the only Sonic game which I absolutely love the control on. Well, there's 2. There's Generations and 06, which is the most hated Sonic game of all time, but I love the controls in it. So.
What are your thoughts on Sonic Unleashed?
Yeah, I was about to ask everything. Are you talking about the
Wii version or the Xbox 360 version? Because there's 2 different versions. I at the time when Unleashed came out, I had the Wii version, and I never got far in it. But then last year, I started playing Unleashed on the 360, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't get as far as probably I should have done because I know it's very common to say you don't like the werehog stuff, but I don't really like the werehog stuff.
I also had it on.
So it's good.
I also had it on the Wii. I completed it 100%. Again, I don't think the story of any Sonic game is particularly interesting to me.
For me, 06, the story's perfect.
I haven't played it, but Heroes was actually alright. Which was one of my favourites.
Game. Yeah. The funny thing is, like, the story's really babyish, but the gameplay is really difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Team Chaotix missions are so hard.
I think part of that, though, is because the controls are a bit...
They're very slippery, the
arcade.
controls. Yeah.
But, no, I did like Sonic Unleashed. The werehog isn't the best. The first stage, Sunset Hill or something, has got great music.
Is it Windmill?
Yeah, Windhill.
Yeah.
But that's something you can say about Sonic as a whole. Their music is great. Like, Green Hill Zone, people know a ton. We love Night of the Wind.
Fist Bump.
Fist Bump, yeah. They've just got a bunch of great music, which I think even if you don't like Sonic, you can love the music of Sonic.
Someone thought when you asked for a Sonic question that it's Sonic screwdrivers.
Well, I'll still answer that.
I have 47 Sonics. 47 Sonics?
Hey, how do you know they're not talking about
Yeah,
Sonic?
if you're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, because they've made so many Sonic figures that you could have 100.
You've got like
Alright,
10
I
of them
have
just on display.
47 Sonics. If you made a Sonic, what design would you go for?
I'm assuming we're talking about screwdrivers here.
Well, it's a Doctor Who account, so yeah.
They might like Sonic as
I'm
well.
guessing... Oh, I don't know, I'd probably just take Matt Smith's and recolour it, give it like a purple emitter section, and just make the handle with a leather grip, and give it a wood finish.
So
That would
sort of
be
like,
my perfect bit like a Harry Potter one, really.
yeah, I was going to say sort of steampunk vibes again, but yeah.
Actually make it look like a screwdriver,
Yeah.
but have the nice magical light up stuff. See, people rag on the Sonic screwdriver for doing too much, but it's just a name now. Like, it just makes sense that the Doctor would upgrade it to a point where it's a magic one, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
It
there
never
is.
has.
To some point, you need a device that can solve any situations. To some point, you don't want to use that device. It's all about choosing when you're going to use that device.
That's true.
Or limiting it through.
Stopping a Dalek ray gun in Day of the Doctor. That was a bit too far for me.
Yeah, so if you are at all interested in magic systems, there is hard magic systems and soft magic systems. Hard magics are strict with rules. Soft magics are sort of more lenient. They don't have set rules, but they have to still set what the limit of that magic is. And I feel like the Sonic Screwdriver, not magic, but it would follow the similar rules to soft magic in that you would just need to still set a boundary of the higher limit of what it could do.
Yeah.
But you need to make it believable within your own
universe, yeah.
You looked like you were about to ask something, Cole.
I was wondering if you were done with talking about magic.
Sure. I love magic and medieval in case you didn't know it.
Cynical, who says, "Oh, thanks guys, means a lot to hear my new videos reach so many people." Yeah, actually, I saw that video in my timeline, and I got really miffed because Oscar knows this. The only reason, really, I joined this channel was so that I could really publicly talk about.
Oh yes, the Cynical who's beating you to
it. Talking about, you know, adding, you know, a point to, you know, the Doctor Who and transgender representation. You know, I wanted to add something to that discussion online. But now, once I eventually get around to making that, it will seem like I'm copying you.
You see, I joined the channel because I wanted friends.
Yes, and you have them, don't you?
I did not like the fact that I wasn't popular. I was a nerd. Still am to this day.
And yeah, Ozzy, I used to tune into your 7th Doctor figure adventures a few years back, although I was under my old name.
Thank you for watching those. They definitely a passion project back in the day. And if you didn't know, I'm sure you know. I'm sure you knew that there's another figure adventures coming out, but I've not started filming yet because the set is taking way longer to build.
It looks great.
It looks good.
Also, the last one that we plan on doing, I haven't properly finished yet.
Well, I think with the pace of this one, I wouldn't worry too much because it's going to be ages before I'm finished filming this thing. The script is half an hour long, and I've not even filmed 1 second of footage yet.
Yeah.
The sets are a lot more complicated and in detail than other ones. Even just looking at it, I can see that. So prepare for higher quality, but at the same time, don't expect it anytime soon.
It's going to be late next year, I'd say.
That was the plan that we said.
But even then, I'd still say don't.
I'm not going to set a concrete date on it.
Don't hold him to that because
life can get in the way. I could get sick of it and like stand on the set and just throw it out the window.
What
if
you delay it by another year and you release them in 2023 for the 60th
anniversary?
That would be a treat, wouldn't it?
It would.
A treat for us, maybe not a treat for them. They're like, oh, we have to wait another year.
So I think I'll probably just stop talking about it because the more I talk about it, people go, "Oh well, is it going to come out soon?" And then people get bored. So I think this is going to be the definitive answer to you guys. It's going to be a while yet. Let's just put it like that. Because I'm not printing out any sets. I'm hand making everything just so it looks photoreal on camera.
You should see the table in his living room.
There's a teaser on Instagram. I'm going to put teasers on Instagram, so follow my Instagram page if you haven't.
We messed up his living room just to take the chairs.
Yes, these chairs.
Well, I would say, yeah, you're on this one.
Can't stay awake anymore. Have to wake up in 3 hours. Good night, children. Okay, good night, Richard Coleman.
This is the 5th time we said goodnight.
I'd say you said you were going to go ages ago.
So we don't believe you, Richard. We don't believe you.
Or we're just going to assume you're still watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you guys like to have Nick Briggs as a guest on a future podcast? Yes. And
I feel like that's something... I don't know. The thing is, what I do with that, I'd like to do a 50-50 split, where you have a certain amount of time with Nick Briggs, and I have a certain amount of time with Nick Briggs.
Okay.
Because we can slowly ease him in into talking about the paradigm.
So what we can do is slowly replace me with Nick Briggs.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Lewis starts to regenerate into Nick Briggs.
I will then go disappear into the woods. Or the attic, depending on whichever's closer.
Yeah, I think I'd probably just try and... Because what you're not allowed to do with Big Finish is you're not allowed to just hand them a script if you've got an idea for them.
Alright.
You're not allowed to do that. You have to like go through the channels of like having a proper career.
Yeah.
And like also doing that competition which is going on right now. I feel like if I was alone with Nick Briggs, I'd probably just explain my ideas to him. Just get him to commission them.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
You got a lot of praise from...
Cynical, who says, Nonsense Mana, I'm sure whatever video you make will handle the topic excellently, and there's a lot to say that I didn't. I very much look forward to seeing that when it comes out. Thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't stop at one person's opinion.
Yeah.
The discussion's open for an eternity. No discussion ever ends. Everything's ongoing, so...
And Billy Garrett John lecture share.
Oh,
Yeah.
Billy's here. Hey, Billy.
Nice.
I just thought I'd rock it today, because it is a reunion. It's a special podcast, and I thought, let's bring out the special t-shirt. So,
Hello.
if they're still up for sale on Redbubble, go pick one of these up. So there you go, a bit of a plug for you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, hi Billy. We've never met or anything.
But we have.
Must
Me and Lewis.
suck, not me.
But
this person.
I've been watching your videos and following your relationship with Matt, for years, just as long as he is.
We're gonna have to have you on the podcast, Billy.
Yes. Would you kindly come on if we ask nicely?
What are you, Ryan Sinclair?
Don't you dare.
No, that's a different Ryan Sinclair that I'm thinking of.
Wait, who are you thinking of?
I don't even think it's Ryan Sinclair. It's Bioshock, a game, and every time the person... I know it's Sinclair. It's every time they say, would you kindly, the person is obliged to do it.
Would you kindly?
So it's like, would you kindly go do this for me? And the person literally has to do it. They're forced to do it, and they think they're doing it of their own free will, but they're not.
Huh. Okay.
Cool.
No, Richard Coleman.
Why are you still here?
You thought wrong. We guys have not finished yet.
No, I mean, to be honest, I could probably stay up. But
I could. I'm doing nothing tomorrow.
the call's on you guys, because I'm the one who lives here. I'd have to leave the house from now on, so...
Also...
I don't mind what time I go back. I'm just worried that it's been 2 hours.
This is the longest stream we've ever done.
Yes.
Because I still have talking topics. I just deleted some of them.
Right. Oscar.
Yeah.
Is that a custom Eternal Dalek?
Right, okay. Okay, you guys,
Yeah.
you guys in the stream now, you are the MVPs. I love you all. So I'm going to give you an exclusive. Man, hand me that Dalek and try not to knock the amazing Sonic figure over.
I will hold the Sonic
That is
still.
one of my favourite pieces in the collection, so don't break that. I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds
You know I have to do it to him.
to tell me what this Dalek is. 10, 9,
Shit.
8,
Sylvester
7,
McCoy.
6.
Colin
He's missing a
Baker.
headlight. I need to make another
Peter
one.
Davison.
6,
I was going to say, yes.
John
Nine.
Baker. John
4,
Pertwee.
3,
Patrick Troughton.
What's the one I'm thinking of?
2.5.
Bootleg.
Joe Martin.
2.
Absolutely
Patrick
atrocious.
Troughton. William Hartnell.
No one's guessed anything.
Peter Cushing. Right, no one's guessed anything.
So,
This-
they don't know.
Is a behind-the-scenes Witcher's Familiar Eternal Dalek. Because, we talked about this earlier with the Witcher's Familiar, how they brought the Paradigm on set and never did anything with them. But someone on the production team thought, oh, let me just put the top half of a strategist on top of an Eternal, because they don't know what they're doing. So this weird variant was created, and I thought, what a cool custom that would make. And
It
thus
does look quite interesting.
the Eternal Strategist is born. The blue's a bit too dark, but I think it kind of works. I think it kind of gives it a nice, unique look.
Yeah.
And the eye stalk as well is a new eye stalk, modified to be like the live props. So there you go.
It's always so funny. You're just like trying to center something in this because you're like, move to the right. No, it's not my right. It's left. Move left, and you just can't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, my back.
Is the eye like meant to be like the original?
Yeah, when it's
organic
turned
look?
off. When it's turned off.
Yeah.
Because on the toys, it's like they're all turned on because that's what they look like in the show.
Mm.
But I did it in the turned off mode, so it's like flesh. So a very interesting piece, and I will eventually get around to doing a video on it, but can't make any promises. I just like it being the Easter egg in the back of the videos where people go, "Ooh, what's that?"
Yeah.
So maybe I won't make a video on it.
Yeah.
It can be
people guessing.
Maybe you
the
guys
eternal
exclusively
enigma.
get to know this.
Yeah. Nobody knows the identity of the Eternal, but the Strategist Eternal. That's a step further. So.
Billy Garrett John says, of course, in response to our podcast.
Awesome.
Yay.
I did watch.
I don't think it's...
I can't remember. There was a podcast you did with a small channel which I watched. So I know you're open to doing podcasts. So that's really cool, man. It'd be a delight to have you on.
Oh, if only that was an RC Dalek.
It is RC, but I stripped the electronic out of it because.
If only it was still an RC Dalek.
If only it was still.
Thoughts on Matt and Derek the Dalek and the Cult of Scratchwood?
I'm assuming that's not a serious question.
I have no idea. Read it. Bottom one.
I don't know what that means.
No, we don't know.
Neither do I, and I'm the least likely to know what that means.
I know Dilbert the Dalek, which is Benji LaBonge's very own Dalek. That's about it.
The Cult of Scarrow should have looked different to what they did in the series.
What should they look like?
Because they were all just all standard, weren't they? They were all bronze with a different name tag. These are special Daleks. These are special Daleks.
Yeah.
So they should have been different colours.
Alright, well, it looks like questions are drying up, so unless we want to get something off the list or something.
I'm high on energy, so I could go forever.
Okay, I'll
By Matt AF Productions.
I like that username. Where's that?
As in, that's what this is.
Mataf Productions.
That's
I will have to look that up.
So, since he's high on energy, I will untick some of these ones I ticked before. So, we'll go with Marna's one.
Yeah.
Most embarrassing Doctor Who memory.
Oh, yes.
We talked about cringe, we haven't talked about embarrassing.
Like,
Oh no, I've got a funny one.
Like
I've got
personal,
a really funny one.
like personal memories to us.
Right. I feel like there's probably a few more, but one that sticks to mind was when I had a photo with Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah.
My parents took a video from the side, just what
I
was
love
going on.
when you get videos of the side of people, because
Yeah,
I saw your one with
Oh, Jenna Coleman.
Jenna Coleman.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
funny to just joke
And I did
about
an
that.
edit.
Everyone else laughs at that, but it was the best moment of my life.
It
So.
might have been, it was just still funny.
Anyway, the thing with Sylvester McCoy, I took a photo with him, like, "Hi Sylvester, how you doing?" And after I took the photo, I kind of like made it look like I was the celebrity, and I was like, and it looks like I'm. It's really funny. I want to try and find it and show you guys. It was really funny.
Was it? We saw Sylvester McCoy at like.
Keithley.
Yeah.
And he jumped into the audience and took
Yes.
a question from us all. That was the best, one of the best moments of my life. Was that?
Yeah,
That
he
was so
actually
cool.
came up on stage and like he went up to me. Like I was the first person he went up to and like shook my hand. And I was like, I think he pointed the mic at me or something. I don't remember.
And then we spoke to him afterwards, and
Yeah, and
It
then
was
we asked him a
jarring.
question while he was walking around the audience.
I asked him about a Five-ish Doctors sequel, and he basically said they had an idea, but it obviously never happened.
60th anniversary.
They wanted to do a
wait.
Top Gear style kind of parody thing, I think. I think that was what he was on about, but it just never came to fruition. Shame, but
so
Oh, well.
Yeah.
yours was acting like a statue. What's yours?
Oh, right. So,
I'm scared of moths.
oh,
Over there.
well, don't get that moth anywhere near me. I'm fucking terrified of
I'm
moths.
scared of butterflies.
Um,
I'm entomophobic.
we know.
Scared of all bugs and stuff.
Yeah, we were thinking of that relates to the sketch you were on about earlier. About when we just came up with all these terms.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did you not realise that's what you were doing? Like, we're arachnophobic. We don't. But that's just a phobia anyway.
Yeah,
Arachnosexual. That's it. That's it.
I didn't say we were doing just random phobias, but making them sexual. Anyway, carry on.
Right, so, growing up, teachers around the country finally clicked that the thing that will get kids paying attention to stuff, getting them learning about stuff, get them engaged with going out and being in groups and going to new places was making something Doctor Who themed, right? Sort of also a side tangent, embarrassing thing. Back when I was in primary school, the teacher got me to focus on the work more by having like a little sort of a TARDIS with a picture of like all the different Doctor Who characters at the time.
Okay.
From like 2000, from the start to...
A stock image of Rose, a stock image of Donna, a stock image of
So
Amber.
everyone had a picture of a Doctor Who character, a hero, villain, alien, whatever.
Hero is subjective.
And of course, because the teacher wanted to get me specifically focused, because I was the problem child of the class.
I love being the problem child. It's a fun experience.
Yeah, she gave me the Doctor.
Okay.
Just to make me feel like I was important. How times have changed. Anyway, later on, it was something like 2011, 12. I don't know how I ended up there, but it was like a little Doctor Who trip thing. I don't remember where it was. Clearly didn't have the effect it was intending to, because I don't remember what it was, why we were there. But me and my mum had gone to this thing where this guy was putting on a presentation, going through like a slide. I think it was like a Doctor Who quiz or something for like kids. And, he did a slideshow of like Doctor Who monsters, or sort of like, giving hints and then asking people, what is this Doctor Who monster? Before revealing what it was. And then, so we all sat down, and there was also a school group that was there. And, that already, at the time, because I was home educated, that already had me sort of on edge for some reason. And then people... the people doing the presentation were giving hints about the silence.
Okay.
That's the thing they were going to work up to. And they gave the hint, and they were like, does anyone know what this monster is? And then I stuck my hand up, eager to answer.
Yeah.
And then, completely unscripted, I forgot.
You forgot?
I forgot
what the silence was?
What the silence was.
Get out.
And I sat there, and everyone was looking at me, my mum. This whole school group were waiting on bated breath, and I was just there sort of mumbling. Like, no, I remember, no, I don't think I ever ended up answering them.
That reminds me of something that I remember that was very funny in drama club when we used to go.
Yeah.
You know that game that Andy used to do where you pointed at someone and you said something and they had to guess, they had to say something else before you walked to them.
Oh yeah, but then we forget as soon as people come up to you. It's like, oh shit, I can't name a colour.
And it was favourite TV show. Oscar said Doctor Who, pointed at you,
and you said
pass. Everything.
There's not any other TV shows that aren't Doctor Who.
And I just still think it's funny.
That's one of those things which.
But I've done plenty of embarrassing stuff.
Mm.
Nothing Doctor Who related though, because I'm not as big of a fan as you guys are.
Well, clearly not.
Again, a lot of in-depth questions about Doctor Who I will not be able to answer because I am not as big of a fan as these two are. I can answer questions and make up sort of things based on preconceptions, but I can't give anything to as much.
Don't expect Lewis to sort of know all the niche stuff that
you'll go, is that an eternal Dalek?
The thing is, though,
it is Dalek.
Close
enough.
You're pretty knowledgeable about the Matt Smith Capaldi era.
Yeah, Matt Smith and Capaldi
because you come out with stuff which I think, wait, that happened? And
because I just rewatched it over and over and over, and I just loved them. I haven't watched it in quite a while, but I do love Matt Smith as my favourite, and then
Yeah,
Peter
that's my
Capaldi as a close second.
Have you ever done 3D animation?
Yes, I have. That is a good question, because I don't know whether I've ever shared any 3D stuff. I have. I did the Blender animation, but I think that's private now.
Yeah, it's private now.
I kind of wanted just to keep it a bit streamlined and just keep mainly Doctor Who stuff on the channel. I kind of did. I started training myself up on 3D modelling. It's quite fun, but I kind of been giving myself a lot of other stuff to do, so it kind of took a bit of a back venture. But I would love to be able to do stuff which Corridor Crew, for example, do some amazing work on that. I'd love to be industry level, but it's like I'd probably need another 10 years in VFX to reach a level of greatness. So
yeah.
Alright, bye-bye Dalek collecting.
Have a good night, man.
So I don't know if anyone here watches Dorkly, or the one the stories from is Drawfee, where they pick a topic for their videos and they will just draw things. So one of their ones was phobias. They'll be given the name of a phobia and have to draw it based on what they think it is. And they'll draw a funny drawing. One of their ones was to draw their persona as a TV show. So I think Nathan did JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Nice.
I want to watch that.
Jacob did a different anime that I don't remember. And then Julia did, I was about to say Evangelion, Violet Evergarden.
Okay, yeah.
Which is very sort of, they spend a lot of time on their backgrounds. So what she did was she spent 10 hours on her drawing in Blender, making the background.
Oh, you told me about this. Yeah,
I told you about this.
Yeah.
She spent about an hour on her actual drawing. She spent 9 hours learning Blender, just making the background so she could have the background for her piece.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a funny video, and it's just like, you went far above what you needed to with 3D modelling. You made a full 3D background, taking into account the different perspectives and how the scene should look, just for one video.
That's the thing with VFX. Sometimes I think, is this more effort than it's worth? Should I just do it practical?
I've done.
But at the same time, you've learned a very valuable skill. That
Definitely.
The first time it's going to take you forever and ever and ever.
The next time you do it, you'll be able to do it twice as quick.
I've done 3D modelling as part of like my media courses. But I was
making a cube in After Effects. Not the same.
I was never like too deep into it. It's like it was never a passion project to make models of anything. So I just, I had to get on with it as part of the course. I did shapes and things, as basic things as I could do.
That's sort of how I started with Unity creation. So as part of my course we had to create a game using Unity, and at first I absolutely hated it because I don't know coding, and you have to get the right one here, C# coding, not C++, which is alright for beginners, but it's still complicated and I hated it, but after spending a bit of time using it, it's actually quite fun. So it's something I might do eventually, but I haven't used it since I made my game.
I mean, I'd love to make a Sonic fan game, but...
Well, yeah, my friend did a 3D, I just did a 2D one. So 2D ones are, I'd say, vastly simplistic to do using Unity. 3D, there's a lot more things you need to worry about, like collisions, and it's very hard making games.
Sprite, that's where it's at.
Oh, Scratch is the best.
Scratch, yeah. Yeah.
Apparently there are free Dalek models on Project Dalek.
The thing is about pre-downloading models, it really takes it's not one of those things like you take up 3D modeling to download. It's like if you just bought like a load of stock assets and bought all the knowledge for filmmaking.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know anything. You'd just go, oh, I'll just do that.
I just
and
sort of
really easy.
copied exactly what they did, and now I know what.
It's like when you copy code.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't learn anything.
Well, I did copy code for my coursework. But the way I copied it is that I didn't just copy and paste it into my thing and go, there you go, there's my game completed. I rewrote all of the code that they wrote, went bit by bit and go, what does this function do? Okay, that's how that works. Now what does this function do in relation to this function?
Yeah.
So I actually went to try and understand what the functions did. I didn't just copy and paste it. So when I tell people, yes, I got a distinction and copied and pasted it, it's partially to go, yes, I didn't spend as much effort as you probably did. But I did still put effort into it because I did rewrite all that code myself. I didn't think up the code because coding, in a sense, is just reusing the same thing as something else. You're never going to make an original piece of code.
No.
But I do somewhat understand the fundamentals of what I did, and I could probably tell you, and I did in my report, tell people what bits of code did. Like, this is my board creation script. It creates the board that the player will be able to stand on.
I bet we sound like writing nerds.
Alien language to me. I know nothing about coding.
It was an alien language to me until this year. 2 years on a computer course, and I'm now a nerd.
I don't know that I'll ever understand coding, but maybe I'll be wrong.
I'd say it's easier than it sounds, but it's also more difficult.
There is coding in like Premiere and After Effects. Like, as you continue to skill up, you'll come across it eventually, and you'll understand it.
Yeah. I hope not to.
It's fairly straightforward.
It's not as complicated as they would make it look in some movies.
This times this equals this.
There's very, like as I said, C# is beginner code, but you've also got C++, you've got JavaScript. There's so many different coding languages. Ruby.
Python.
Yeah, Python.
Okay.
I don't like Python.
Right, okay. Any more questions?
So I just talked about IT. I took over the stream for a minute.
Yes, you did.
Drop your questions, guys, before we go.
Thoughts on the anime and manga of Dragon Ball? Never
haven't
seen
watched
either.
or read it.
Never
You
watched.
definitely haven't.
I watched Dragon Ball Evolution, the live-action movie, just for a laugh.
Yeah.
Just for a laugh.
I'm pretty sure we've all watched that.
Yeah, everyone's
I
watched that
haven't.
at some point.
Yeah.
But Lewis hasn't.
I've seen clips.
The only
from
anime I've seen is Sonic X, which I call it more of a cartoon than an anime.
Yeah, I'm not big on like.
I mean, it's a cartoon. Like, it's sort of. It's still an anime, but like it's been.
I'm one of the people that
shifted enough so it's not offensive enough that it's like alien to like Western audiences.
Yeah, I think it was very reworked to be quite Western.
I'm one of the people that go shows like Sonic and Pokemon, while they may technically be anime, I'd still call them cartoons. I wouldn't call them anime.
A lot of people who grew up on those, like who live in Western countries,
like,
do say that.
But there's also shows like Yu-Gi-Oh, which I'm not sure where to categorize that, because as a kid I thought that was cartoon, but now I think some of it could be considered anime, so I don't know where to draw the line on that.
Yeah, that debate on what you can and can't call anime is very deep. It's very deep
on what you can and call Doctor
people
Who is a debate. Class is a good example.
Well, it's officially Doctor Who, but it's not Doctor Who.
It will be Doctor Who officially, but not in our hearts. It's out for Ruby.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me.
So, I didn't say anything.
Exactly. That's what I thought. Right. I don't think there are any more questions flowing in.
No, I think people have gotten very tired at 12.
Yeah, I think gradually people are starting to drop off.
And
so
it's sort of a good time because we're about 2.5 hours in.
We've been talking for 2.5 hours. It's
Well,
a good 2.5 hours.
10 minutes.
Don't look into the light behind you.
Oh, I get to look through the pop filter, so I don't have to see it.
It's fine.
So is there anything final that either of you want to sort of mention, or
Don't
a
do
final topic
drugs.
you
Don't
want
do drugs. There's no point. It costs you way too much
or
money.
a final little topic
Also,
to talk about?
if you have an addictive personality, then you know.
Get off of YouTube because you'll be on it for your entire life. So, like me.
What were you just saying?
I was just saying, is there a final topic or a final closing thing you
Right.
want to talk about before we wrap up? Because
I, for quite a few weeks now, in fact a whole month, since it came out, in fact, I've been trying to make a review of the 9th Doctor Adventures Ravagers. That was going to be my second video on this channel. I hope it still ends up being the second video on my channel, but you know, circumstances haven't allowed me to properly, you know, make the video, put it out there. But it is coming. Ninth Doctor Adventures Ravager's review by me, coming out, and then also the sketch that we filmed today, that's coming out.
Hopefully.
When it's edited. When it's edited. But, yeah.
What are we doing about the footage?
We'll talk about this after.
We'll talk about this after.
Right.
We're still live. We'll talk about this after the podcast.
Yeah, and then
I kind of forgot we were live at one point, to be honest.
Yeah. I have been sort of zoning in and out of focus, but my energy is here.
right, and then
Bless him.
eventually, you know, I'll get around to making that you know, sort of transgender Doctor Who video. Those are the only things that I have planned of my videos to make, and obviously I have to write this figure adventure, which isn't coming out for ages, so you don't have to worry about that.
Take your time on that.
What about you, Oscar?
Right, on Thursday night, I think, hopefully I have it off from work, we're going to be talking. I'm going to be responding to the comments from I talked about it earlier in the podcast, but the video I put out about the Chibnall era, we're going to be responding to those comments live, so make sure you're there. All comments welcome, because I'd just like to actually discuss it in a civil manner. TV21, no, Time Lord Victorious Emperor custom, which I bought about 5 months ago, I'm going to do a solo video on, because why not? Then we've got another Paradigm video coming out, because I'm predictable, and then we have a video on the bootleg figures, which is going to be the definitive Doctor Who bootleg video on the internet, so look forward to that, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a blast. It'll be great to do one of these again.
Yes.
And is it really a podcast? Because, I mean...
We're just talking about
I
what we
mean,
love, but again, podcasts can just be...
they can be anything, really, can't they?
yeah.
Yeah. But,
I mean, all the podcasts have just been like video podcasts. Podcasts are usually like just the audio. But like,
I mean,
even if you listen to this without the audio, I think you still get it.
listen to this without the audio.
Without,
Imagine watching the screen for 2.5
without
hours.
the video. Listen to it without the video.
There's a lot of podcasts that like
Do
the visual
Yeah.
and just you don't even need to watch it. But yeah.
No,
But yeah, expect more podcasts in the future, but not too soon, because this one was fairly easy, but the last one we did was kind of a bit stressful behind the scenes for me, because I had a lot of stuff going on. So I kind of want to get the next podcast to a point where it's very planned, very structured, and there's a set date for it to come out, and all the artwork's done beforehand, and yeah, I want to get to a point where I'm actually happy with it.
I'll say that if you guys do enjoy the podcasts, please, even obviously just all of you loyal viewers who are in the stream asking us questions, please just ask us questions on like the podcast videos or any of the videos and for a future podcast, and we'll try and
Put it in a
them
discussion thing, yeah.
We'll try and answer them in the podcast, like Richard, thank you.
Yeah, Richard
put it on the
kind of
announcement thing,
yeah.
so I immediately put that into my notes as talking points that we do in the video. So
it really helps. It really structures the podcast for us.
because it's like, okay, we can do these talking points, then we'll do on to our personal talking points. We'll do a bit of viewer thing. So yeah, just sort of interact with us. We will try and do it. Well, you guys, well, you. We'll show up when we can. We'll try and do it when we're available.
Cool. So with that in mind, guys, take care, and
good luck during the rest of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your jabs.
Yeah, I should be getting mine over the next couple of days. So
Take